My child, listen closely, for time is slipping through unseen cracks. What I carry for you today is not ordinary. It is sacred, urgent, and meant for your spiritual one. You've been feeling the tremors, haven't you? The world around you, shifting, the noise is louder and the light seems dimmer. But you were not made to be swallowed by the chaos. You were chosen to rise. Don't walk away from this moment. Every word that follows holds a yeki to peace, clarity, and purpose. You've been attuned, for this is your wake-up call, your divine interruption. Lean in now. You are exactly where you need to be. Listen closely, for your heart holds a song more precious than any storm or sea. I see you, your quiet spirit trembling as you wonder if your voice can be heard above the noise, if it can reach the divine or overcome your own doubts. The world is full of loud demands and dismissals, of judgments and silences. Sometimes it can feel like your words and prayers vanish like morning mist. But I am speaking to you now with a clarity that comes not from this world, but from eternity. Your voice matters. It matters to me. It is part of the great design of all things, and nothing is ever truly lost or unheard. This is more than just a kind thought. It is a promise for your soul. A flame meant to burn within you. Your voice holds your unique story, the light of your dreams and the depth of your desires. And all of it is sacred to me. You know the weight of silence, don't you? The times when speaking felt too risky, when fear sealed your lips and shame made you turn away. Perhaps you've convinced yourself that your voice is too small, too flawed, or too ordinary to make a difference. Yet, from the very moment I gave you life, you were given the power to speak my truth and your own, words that can calm your inner storms and move the seas around you. I am the God who spoke the stars into existence. How much more precious, then, are your words to me, since my very breath is in you. I use your voice to shape your world and mend the broken pieces of your heart into a beautiful story of hope. Let this truth sink in. Even if it trembles now, your voice is a powerful instrument of my purpose and a reflection of my glory. If you wonder how your voice can possibly matter in a world so loud, remember this: it matters precisely because of the noise. The world's chaos isn't a void. It's a stage where your words can shine like a beacon for those who are lost and weary. There is an incredible divine power when just one person speaks with courage and authenticity. This power comes not from how loud you are, but from how genuine you are. A sound that echoes through eternity and touches the hearts of those who need to hear it most. When you hesitate, burdened by uncertainty or the pain of past rejections, remember that I am with you. I am ready to carry your voice like a sacred psalm on the wind, over every mountain and through every valley. You were made for this moment. Your voice was meant to break the cycles of silence, to bring change where despair has settled, and to draw others into the warmth of my love. Never underestimate the quiet strength growing inside you. My spirit fuels it, and it's destined to open new doors in heaven. Think about this, my beloved. When you speak your pain, you invite healing. When you speak your fears aloud, you claim my peace over them. When you share your hopes, you are planting seeds of faith that I will water with endless grace. Every word is a brushstroke on the masterpiece of your life, a work that is infinitely important in the gallery of my creation. Even when your words fall short, my spirit will catch them and weave them into something more beautiful than you can imagine. You've always known this truth somewhere deep inside you, but today I want you to trust it fully. Your voice is not an accident. It is a sacred agreement between you and me, a lifeline that connects your soul to my heart with unbreakable threads. Will you embrace this agreement? Will you risk being vulnerable with your voice, knowing I am protecting it? I am with you through every moment of hesitation and every flash of courage. My love is the rich soil where your words will grow strong. I am the quiet strength behind your shouts, the calm in your storms, and the light that will never let your voice be swallowed by darkness. You might feel invisible, unheard by others, but I promise to be your witness and your amplifier. Your voice will have an impact on your family, your community, and in spiritual places you can't see. It is the key to unlocking the cages of silence and the chains of despair, bringing a freedom that no one can take away. So, my child, listen clearly. Step into this purpose with faith and courage. Speak the truths I have placed within you. Pour out your soul to me like an offering. Watch as I turn your smallest words into a symphony of salvation. Take a moment to breathe this in and let this promise fill your heart. Know that you are heard and treasured beyond measure. If you feel your heart stirring, don't turn away. Speak now, aloud or in silence, however you feel, and place your voice in my hands. I will carry it further than you can imagine, louder than your fears, and longer than any doubt. Your voice will matter. This is the start of a journey where your words become lifelines, your story changes destinies, and your voice becomes a light that pierces the darkest nights. I am here. I am listening. I am ready to hear the sacred song only you can sing. Will you sing it for me, my dear child? I see the struggles within your heart, the shadows that linger, the doubts that chill your soul. I know the deep pain of feeling invisible, the weight of mistakes that feel permanently etched into your being. This inner storm is not new to me. I am here, steady and calm, even when the chaos rages. I am your safe place, your shelter in the wildness of your fears and the dryness of your doubts. You don't need to hide the wounds that weigh you down. Bring them to me, just as a child brings a broken toy to a loving parent, not with fear of rejection, but with hope of being made whole. I am patient with you, slow to anger, and quick to embrace. Even when you fall and stumble under the crushing weight of guilt and shame, my arms are wide open. I am not far away or uninterested. I am here, breathing life into the very depths of your tired soul. Understand this, my beloved. I am not here to judge your failures or condemn your weaknesses. I am here to walk with you, gently guiding you through the confusion. Every misstep, every lonely tear is precious to me. They are not signs of defeat, but signs of a heart that longs for healing. The scars you carry don't block my love. Instead, they are the canvas on which I will paint a new picture of my mercy and grace. You might feel overwhelmed by a silence that seems to stretch on forever, a desert where your prayers get lost. But my silence is never abandonment. I am working behind the scenes in your heart, weaving threads of hope and strength that will soon blossom. My timing is perfect, even when it tests your patience and faith. Trust that every tear and every moment of confusion is a seed I've planted deep within you, just waiting for the rain of my love to bring forth a harvest of peace. My child, it's natural to have questions that trouble you. Why this pain? Why this struggle? Why is this path so hard and lonely? I don't promise that the journey will be easy, but I do promise that I will never leave you. In your weakness, my strength will meet you. In your confusion, my light will break through the darkness. In your sorrow, my joy will come like the morning sun. Hold on to this truth as you explore your own soul. My love doesn't change because of your failures or struggles. It is a steady flame that defies every storm. Let this love fill the cracks in your fragile faith and the empty spaces where doubt tries to live. I am your rock, your fortress, your unshakable foundation in hard times. You are not alone, my dear. With every breath, I am whispering a promise. I am here, and I will never leave you. When the night feels long and the weight is too much, lean on me. Let me hold your fragile spirit with compassion and grace. No sorrow is too deep, no failure too great for my love to mend. If you feel a stirring in your heart right now, a seed of hope awakening, don't turn away. Embrace the invitation to rest in my presence, to be healed and made new. Come just as you are, with all your brokenness, fears, and questions. I am waiting, patient and gentle, ready to lead you into the light of my constant love. Let our connection grow deeper and stronger until the battle within your soul finds peace in my embrace. My dear, I see the silent battles in your heart, the shadows of guilt, shame, and the heavy weight of self-blame that feel like unbreakable chains. These feelings are not unfamiliar to me. I have known human brokenness and held human pain in my eternal hands. I came to liberate you, not to condemn you, to untangle the guilt that has pierced your soul and to wash away the layers of shame that cling to you. I know how past mistakes echo in your mind, whispering accusations and filling you with a sense of unworthiness. But my beloved, your worth is not defined by your failures, nor is it lessened by the times you've stumbled. Inside you is a sacred spark, a reflection of my divine image, pure and untouched by imperfection. The enemy of your soul, however, wants to convince you that you are permanently damaged, a vessel broken beyond repair. How often have you told yourself you are unworthy, letting the voices of condemnation drown out my gentle whispers of forgiveness? I stand before you now, not as the judge, but as the one who redeems your story. I have carried your sins, pouring out my grace like a river to cleanse the wounds of guilt. Take courage, for my love is a healing balm for even the deepest scars. There is a profound freedom in giving your shame to me. Imagine it as a heavy stone in your hands that bends your spirit. Now, imagine giving that stone to me, letting me carry it for you, finally releasing your grip. You don't have to hide your brokenness or pretend to be happy. I see all of you, and I declare you worthy of my mercy. There is no sin so great that it can't be swallowed by my boundless grace. The weight that is crushing your soul today is the very weight I long to lift. Remember, child, forgiveness is not something you earn with good deeds. It is my free gift, a promise that your past doesn't control your future. In those quiet moments when your heart is full of self-judgment, turn to me and receive the endless pardon I offer. My kingdom has a sacred cycle. Brokenness meets grace, and grace turns it into strength. Let me rewrite your story, washing away the stains of guilt with the pure water of my forgiveness. This is not the end. It is the new beginning I have planned for you. You might ask, but how can I trust this forgiveness when my shame feels so heavy? My dear, trust isn't a high ideal for perfect people. It's a steady step toward me. Just as a child learns to walk by falling and getting up again, come to me with your trembling faith. Be raw and honest, laying your burden bare. In that moment of vulnerability, my healing will flood your spirit, and the chains of shame will begin to dissolve. Don't let the enemy's lies convince you that forgiveness is out of your reach or that you must hide from me. I am here, patiently waiting, ready to wrap you in a cloak of love that covers every imperfection. Your identity isn't in your mistakes. It's in the love that calls you back whenever you stray. My beloved, hear this truth deeply. You are more than your failures. You are a masterpiece in the hands of the one who loves you unconditionally. Imagine a potter working with clay. Even if the clay is cracked and marred, the potter doesn't throw it away. Instead, they reshape and refine it until it is beautiful and purposeful. That is what I do with you. Every time you surrender your shame, I am molding you closer to the person I created you to be. Let my forgiveness be the very breath of your soul. Breathe in my grace, filling every part of your heart that guilt has shadowed. Breathe out the self-condemnation that has no place in my kingdom. Practice this in your darkest moments. Let my love be your sanctuary where shame can't enter. When the weight of past sin threatens you, stand firm with the truth of my redemption. My love is a fire that consumes darkness and a light that brightens the most desolate places in you. I won't rush your healing. Patience is a gift I offer your journey. Healing and forgiveness happen in their own perfect time, like a fragile flower blooming after a long winter. Trust this divine process, even if it feels slow. Every tear, every silent prayer, every longing for freedom is heard and cherished. I am using all things, your scars, your failures, your shame, as fertile ground for my mercy to bloom anew. Now, my dear child, think about the freedom that awaits you when you let go of guilt. Freedom is not a distant dream. It's a reality I offer you now. Step into the light of forgiveness and let it shine on every part of your life. Don't shy away from my invitation to be healed. This is your moment to receive my mercy and move forward, free from the past. Will you take this step and lay down the heavy stones you've been carrying? I am here, ready to meet you with open arms. Will you let this truth settle deep in your heart, that you are forgiven, redeemed, and beloved beyond measure? My dear child, I see the fear that sometimes grips your heart, the anxious whispers of doubt that fill your quiet moments. You wonder if you are enough, if your path holds anything but shadows and uncertainty. These moments, my beloved, are not signs of weakness. They are invitations to come closer to me, to find true peace and strength. Fear and doubt are like relentless waves crashing against your soul. But I am the eternal rock beneath you, steady and unmoving. When the storms rage, know that I am the anchor holding you firm, even when you can't feel me clearly. Imagine a child on the edge of a dark, churning ocean. The tide pulls in, just like your fears, but beneath your feet is a foundation I carved, ancient and strong. I made the seas and the heavens. I can calm the waves and still the storms. You are safe with me, even when your soul feels like a ship lost at sea. Your fears are the changing tides, but your heart belongs to the constant shore. Sometimes fear is loudest in the quiet. It tells you lies about your worth, whispers that you'll fail, that you're alone, that there is no hope. Don't believe these lies. I am the light that drives away shadows. I am the promise that darkness is temporary and joy will come in the morning. Trust isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to walk through it with me, step by trembling step, knowing I will never let you fall. Your anxiety isn't a sign that you're far from me, but a signal that your soul needs my presence. I am closer than your breath, nearer than your heartbeat. When the night feels endless and your thoughts are a whirlwind, call out to me. I will answer with a peace that you can't understand, a gentle reassurance that no matter how wild the storm inside you, you are not alone. My arms are a safe place where your fears can rest. Think of a garden after a long winter. The soil looks barren and lifeless, but new life is stirring beneath the surface. Your moments of anxiety are like that winter, a necessary season for growth and blossoming. I am the gardener, watching over every seed of hope in your heart. Even when you feel surrounded by cold despair, I am nurturing you toward a spring of renewed courage. Believe in this quiet, unseen work I'm doing deep within you. Doubt often comes when you feel you have to carry the world's weight on your own to fix every problem. But my dear one, surrender is the path to peace. Lay your burdens at my feet. Release the need to control every outcome and understand every turn in the road. I am a God of infinite wisdom and boundless love. Trust that I am arranging everything for your good, even when you can't see the whole picture. This surrender isn't giving up. It's the strongest act of faith you can make. Remember, fear is a thief that tries to steal your joy, but I am your safe place and your strength. A help always available in times of trouble. When your spirit is heavy, come to me, not with big gestures, but with an honest heart cry. Let my presence wash over you like a soothing balm, softening your worries and replacing them with assurance. My beloved, you are braver than you know because you choose to face your fears with me. Will you give me your fears today? Bring them to me in your hands, empty and trembling if you must. Let me fill those hands with a peace that calms the storm within you. Stand with me, and the tempest will lose its power. Fear may come, but it will not consume you. because my love is an unyielding fortress. Let this truth settle deeply in your heart and change how you live each day. You are my precious child, made in my image, filled with a divine courage that comes from trusting me. When anxiety and doubt creep in, don't rely on your own understanding, but hold on to my promises. I am the author of your story, weaving every thread with purpose and grace, even in the unknown parts. Rest in this knowledge and step forward boldly, knowing I am with you every step of the way. As you walk through fear and doubt, I am your faithful companion, your refuge, your defender. Together, we will face every shadow and walk into a hope that never fails. Will you choose to trust me today? Will you believe my voice over the noise of your fears? If your heart is stirring, don't turn away. Come closer to the place where peace rules and love never ends. My dear, I understand the storm of fear and anxiety that constantly swirls around your heart. It's a crushing weight, a shadow that dims your light and whispers doubts that seem so real. But even in this darkness, I am the steady rock beneath you, an unshakable, safe place. Fear and anxiety aren't signs of weakness. They are the cries of a soul that longs for my peace, a gentle invitation to let go and find rest in my arms. You might feel as if the ground is crumbling, that your mind is a tangled wilderness where hope can't grow. The questions may seem endless. Where is my security? How can I handle what's ahead? Am I truly seen? These doubts are not new to me, beloved. I have heard every whispered worry and seen every silent tear. Know that I know your fear, and I carry you through it with immeasurable tenderness. Fear tries to convince you that you must control everything, but true freedom begins when you surrender control. Like a mighty oak that stands firm in a storm because its roots are deep, you can find strength by anchoring yourself in me. When anxiety threatens to consume you, come to me like a child seeking shelter from the rain, safe, unafraid, and completely dependent. I will cover you with a peace that is beyond human understanding, guarding your heart and mind. When the world's noise becomes too much, let me remind you that anxiety often lives in the future, in the what-ifs that have no place in the present. I am the God of now, the divine presence that fills every moment with purpose and care. You are always in my sight. My plans for you are woven with a love and wisdom you can't fully comprehend. Every moment you spend in fear is a call to come closer, to rest in the assurance that I am writing a story for you that no shadow of doubt can stop. It's not your perfection that brings you close to me, but your willingness to be your authentic, fragile self. The trembling questions, the sleepless nights, the anxious heart, bring them all to me without hesitation. I am not far away. I am present, reaching into the depths of your soul to lead you to calm waters. In my presence, anxiety loses its power and hope blossoms again. Imagine your heart as a garden once full of weeds of fear. With my gentle hand, those weeds are pulled up and the soil is made fertile for faith to grow strong and vibrant. Take a deep breath and imagine my arms around you, an unbreakable shield against every fear. You are held and cherished not for what you do, but for who you are, my beloved, made in my image, precious beyond measure. Let your heart lean on this truth when anxiety whispers its lies. I urge you now, my dear child, to take a step toward me when the weight is unbearable. Speak your fears to me. Don't hide your trembling heart. Lay it open like a song of longing. Trust that I am listening, working everything toward a good and redemptive end. When doubt tells you to retreat, choose instead to come near. Let this small act of trust be your declaration that your faith is stronger than fear. Know that I am using these moments to refine you, to shape you into someone who is courageous because of your dependence on me. Just as a potter works clay with loving hands to create beauty, I am shaping you through your trials. Fear and anxiety are temporary companions on a journey meant to transform you. They will not have the final say. Instead, Peace rooted in my unfailing love will be your destination. Remember, the greatest heroes of faith weren't people who never felt fear, but those who walked through it with me and found strength beyond their own. I have given you my spirit, a powerful helper who reminds you to stand firm. When the enemy whispers doubt, listen instead to my quiet voice saying, I am here. You are not alone. My presence is a sanctuary that is always open, a light that never fades. My dear, I invite you now to give your fears to me, to release the burdens that are too heavy for you to carry alone. You were never meant to carry them by yourself. In surrendering, you find a freedom that anxiety can't steal. This isn't about being passive, but about actively choosing to trust, to look beyond the immediate pain and see the constant reality of my love for you. If your heart is stirring, don't turn away. Hold on to my promise as a lifeline in your storm. Let each breath be a prayer, each tear a sacred offering, each doubt a doorway to deeper faith. I am with you, faithful and true, through the quiet and the chaos. This struggle is not the end, but the start of a new story of victory that comes from resting in me. Come now, my beloved, and let my peace breathe life into your tired soul. You are stronger than you know, held by hands that will never let go. Trust me with your fears, and in that trust, you will find a wellspring of courage and hope. Let this truth be a beacon in the night, guiding you safely to the dawn of my everlasting love. My beloved, when your heart is heavy with fear, anxiety, or doubt, know that you are not alone. I see the shadows that creep into your mind, the restless nights, and the moments when hope seems to be lost. These are the very moments when I call you to lean on me with a trembling but steady heart. Fear, anxiety, and doubt are like storms that threaten to sink your fragile spirit. But I am the anchor hidden deep below the surface, steady and eternal. Fear isn't a sign of weakness. It shows how deeply you desire safety, love, and peace. When anxiety tightens its grip around your soul, remember that these feelings don't define your worth or your future. They are invitations to trust more deeply, to place your trembling heart in my hands and believe that I am weaving a tapestry of light through your darkness. Anxiety may whisper that you are alone, forgotten, or destined to fail, but my voice cuts through the storm, reminding you that you are held, treasured, and deeply known. Doubt, my dear, sometimes comes in quiet moments when you are weary and the path ahead is unclear. It is a thorn that makes you question and wonder if my promises are real or if my timing is off. Yet, doubt has a purpose. It leads you toward a faith that is refined and true, not shallow or blind. When your certainty is shaken, I am building something stronger beneath your feet, a foundation based not on shifting circumstances, but on the unmoving rock of my love. Every question you wrestle with is a step closer to a faith that embraces both mystery and trust. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast ocean at dusk, the horizon a blur. Your fears are the restless waves crashing against your soul, desperate for control. But I am the lighthouse, shining a beacon of hope through the fog. The light doesn't promise there won't be storms. It promises guidance, assurance, and a safe harbor. Close your eyes and picture that light, steady and strong. Reach for it. Let it fill the empty spaces in you that ache for peace. Let this image ground you when the whispers of fear become deafening. It takes great courage to admit your fears and doubts to me. Don't hide them in shame or pride. I invite you into a holy vulnerability, where you bring the raw truth of your heart to me without pretense. Speak to me as a child speaks to a parent, trusting that you are heard and that your fragile emotions are tenderly held. In this sacred connection, anxiety loses its control and doubt bows before a love that never fails. Let this be a turning point where you trade your burdens for my radiant peace, leaning not on your own strength, but on the power of my spirit. Sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is not to banish fear, but to walk bravely with it, hand in hand with me. Like a child learning to trust their parent while walking in a dark place, you can learn to be in my presence even when your heart trembles. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is my spirit empowering you to face it and keep moving forward. Imagine a fragile flame flickering in the dark night. I kindle that flame in your soul, urging it to grow into a fire that warms, illuminates, and drives away shadows. Your trembling isn't a failure, but the first flicker of lasting faith. In these inner battles, I am also working to shape your character and build your resilience. Anxiety and doubt are tools in my hands to refine you, to strip away false security and build an unshakable trust. Just as gold is purified by fire, your faith is tested so that its brilliance can shine. Don't resent this journey or question its purpose when it feels hard or lonely. Each struggle is a sacred place where you learn to hear my voice above the noise and discover depths of my love you never knew existed. Embrace this process with an open heart. Let this truth settle in you. You are not defined by your fears, but by my victory working within you. Remember all the times I have led you through dark valleys before. Like a shepherd who knows every star and calls each sheep by name, I know your fears and every silent tear you've shed. I never leave you to fight these battles alone. In the quiet of your soul, my spirit whispers hope and courage. When doubt clouds your mind, I bring clarity and light. When anxiety tightens its grip, I pour out a peace you can't comprehend. You are held in a love so vast and strong that even the fiercest storms can't shake your foundation. Will you believe me this time? Will you let this boundless love touch you? In moments of trembling and uncertainty, choose to pray, calling on me as your safe place. Don't try to have a perfect faith on your own. Instead, rest in the promise that when you are weak, I am strong. The very weaknesses that make you feel vulnerable are the doors through which my grace flows most powerfully. Put your hand in mine and walk forward. Each step, no matter how small, is an act of surrender and a declaration that you trust me more than your fears. Feel the weight of that trust lifting from your chest, lightening your burden with the gentleness of my embrace. My precious child, you are not defined by the shadows of doubt or the storm of anxiety, but by the radiant light of my spirit that lives in you. No fear is greater than my power. No darkness is thicker than my love. Always remember this. Your trembling heart is the cradle for a faith that can move mountains and a hope that will never fade. I am with you, steady, patient, and loving, whispering encouragement when your mind is clouded and wrapping you in peace when your soul feels unsteady. In this divine partnership, you will find your courage renewed, your fears silenced, and your faith boldly alive. Let this truth settle in you now, deeply and surely. You are held, you are loved, and you are never alone. Trust me, my dear, and let your trembling heart become the birthplace of unwavering faith. My dear child, in your lonely moments when you feel unseen or abandoned, know this. I am closer than the very breath you take. Your soul may feel dry, the sky silent, but I am the eternal spring, silently flowing beneath the surface, nourishing you even when you can't feel me. I see every tear, every sigh that the world doesn't hear. I witness your silent prayers in the darkest hours, the desperate longing for someone to understand and to stay. Even when shadows gather and you feel lost, beloved, your feeling of abandonment is never true abandonment by me. In these moments of desolation, I am weaving unseen threads of grace around you. The story of your life is not abandoned. It is in my hands, designed to show my glory through your strength and faith. Like a hidden gardener tending the smallest shoots in the dark of night, I protect and nurture the growth that will blossom in my perfect time. Remember the ancient travelers who crossed deserts feeling alone and forgotten? Their voices echoed in the wilderness, and it was there that I was with them, providing water and sustenance. Your waiting place is a sacred wilderness. It is not a place where I have left you, but one made for intimacy and transformation. Don't mistake my silence for neglect. I am the silent whisper, the stillness beneath the noise, drawing you closer to the secret places of your heart. Your invisible struggles, the battles no one else sees, are seen by me with deep intimacy. I am not a distant judge. I am closer than your heartbeat, engaging with every feeling of isolation, yearning to set you free. Your feelings of invisibility are a chance for you to have a deeper connection with me. This is the soil where our relationship grows beyond the surface and into the depths of shared vulnerability and trust. In moments when you feel unworthy of love or that you stand alone, remember that you were made in my image and are held by my promise of unfailing love. I am the shepherd who leaves 99 sheep to find the one lost lamb. You are never a forgotten part of my story. Your cries pierce my heart, and my response is a love that goes beyond human understanding. No shadow of rejection can take away your sacred worth. There is a deep comfort in giving your loneliness to me, in laying down the bricks of pride and fear that build walls around your heart. My dear child, release these burdens into my hands. I am strong enough to carry what weighs you down, and gentle enough to hold your tender heart. When you do this, you will find a peace that the world cannot give, a place where assurance grows and your identity is shaped not by human approval, but by my divine embrace. Look at the night sky, with stars scattered across the darkness. You might feel as small and isolated as a single star, yet each star adds its own unique light to the brilliance of the night. Your presence in my kingdom is just as essential and radiant. The universe would be less beautiful without your light. Even when clouds hide you, your light remains, unseen by others, but joyfully visible to me. I urge you to hold on to this truth, that I am with you, even when you feel alone. Share your experiences with me honestly. Every moment of abandonment, every doubt, pour out your heart without holding back. I treasure your openness and respond with healing. Don't be discouraged by feelings of invisibility. Instead, let them be doors to deeper dependence and richer intimacy with me. If your heart is heavy with memories of relationships that left you feeling unseen, bring those memories to me. I am the one who mends broken hearts and restores fractured connection. While human hands may fail to hold you, my hands are open, offering a love that never falters. Let this truth settle in you, that your value in my eyes is unchanging, and you belong to a love that never abandons you. Remember the times in your life when I was unmistakably near, the quiet after a storm, the warmth of a breeze, a sudden peace. These were my footprints on your journey, proof that I don't forget you. When you feel lost, remember those moments. They are a promise of my constant presence. Embrace the invitation to find refuge in me, not to escape, but to find a sanctuary where your soul is healed and renewed. Here, your true self can emerge, free from fear or resignation. Here you will rediscover the truth that being seen and loved by me is enough, even if others fail to see your worth. Trust this divine gaze and lean into the certainty of my love that anchors you. Rest in my arms where loneliness disappears and your spirit finds its true home. Your journey through feeling lost is not a descent into despair, but a pilgrimage toward the radiant certainty of my presence. Don't let your heart be consumed by the pain of invisibility. Instead, let it unfold within my eternal awareness. I am the God who remembers, who notices, who cherishes every detail of your being. This knowledge is a fortress for your soul. Let it shield you and give you courage, knowing you are never truly alone. Will you believe me this time, beloved? Will you open your heart to the truth that I am with you, holding you, seeing you, and nurturing you? Let this moment be the turning point where solitude becomes an invitation, isolation becomes divine companionship, and unseen struggles lead to victory in my presence. My beloved, it is in the quiet of your soul that I call you to a deeper connection, a place where the gap between human weakness and divine love becomes small. This sacred place isn't for perfect people, but for those who are weary and still searching. This is where you meet me, without pretense, held by my constant tenderness. Think of the tender shoots under the winter snow, hidden from view but alive because of the silent warmth that surrounds them. Your heart, buried under layers of doubt and fear, quietly beats with my presence. You may not always feel this warmth, my child, but it is always there. The silence that frightens you isn't an empty desert. It's a garden where I am quietly preparing you for deeper growth, for intimacy that can't be rushed, for divine moments that turn your pain into a song. I know the ache of loneliness, but even in those moments, I am not far away. I am closer than your heartbeat, nearer than your breath. The places where you feel most unseen are the very places I have chosen to be with you in a powerful way. My love is not a quick glance. It is a steady, burning presence that will never abandon you. Even if you question your worthiness, your mistakes do not define you when they are in my hands. I see beyond your confusion and regrets to the very core of who you are, the beloved image of my own heart. Let me remind you that intimacy is not a destination you reach by great achievements or displays of faith. It's a humble process, an ongoing invitation to come as you are, imperfections and all, and be embraced without condition. You don't need to force spiritual feelings to draw near. The soul's true longing is met in quiet surrender, not in the struggle to prove yourself worthy. The path to this holy intimacy is paved with trust, my dear. Trust not just in my promises, but in my presence, even when you can't feel it clearly. When shadows appear and your spirit is overwhelmed by anxious whispers, reach out in faith, knowing that I am already holding you. The smallest act of seeking brings me near. Don't be discouraged by times you feel disconnected or unworthy. These are opportunities for my love to fill you in ways that no human relationship can. I know that sometimes your heart questions whether you truly belong, whether there is a place for you in my embrace. Be assured that no part of this universe can make you too lost or broken for my love to restore you. Your spiritual belonging is a gift that came before you ever understood it, a divine hand reaching out to you through every trial, every tear, every uncertain step. The intimacy I offer is not static. It is a living, growing relationship, like the deep roots of a tree that find nourishment through dry seasons and times of plenty. Your spirit is sustained by consistently turning toward me. Your breath, your thoughts, your quiet reflection, these are the sacred moments where our hearts connect. Be honest with me. Speak your fears, your hopes, your confusion, because I love to hear the voice of your soul. Child, do not shrink from the depths of your own heart, because that is exactly where I want to meet you. The intimacy between God and a human soul is a beautiful, tender dance that reflects the mystery of creation itself, a blending of divine love and human vulnerability that fills every longing. Let this truth settle in you. Your spiritual belonging is a certainty. You are woven into my being with great care and unending affection. In your silent struggles and daily battles, I am present. I am your refuge and your strength, the one who knows your name and calls you beloved forever. Draw near and listen. Hear the whisper of my heart echoing through your life, reminding you that this journey toward intimacy is lifelong, but never solitary. Will you trust me now to lead you deeper into this sweet connection? To rest not on your own understanding, but on the sure foundation of my love? I long to show you the fullness of who you are as my cherished child, to draw you into the warmth of my embrace where fear fades and your soul is renewed. Give yourself the grace to be fully known, fully loved, and fully accepted. Move toward me with the childlike courage that I delight in. The invitation is always there for you, not something you earn, but a free gift. Lean into this divine friendship with your unguarded heart, knowing that in my presence you find your true home. As you continue this sacred journey with me, remember that every time you seek me, every whisper from your heart is a step deeper into the purpose I have for you. The intimacy we share shapes your destiny and reveals your worth more clearly than anything else ever could. My dear, hold on to this promise. You are never alone. You are never beyond my reach. And my love for you is relentless. Let your heart be open to receive this sacred love in all its fullness. Will you come closer today, letting me heal the places hidden even from yourself? If your heart is stirring, don't turn away. Come closer. I am here. My dear, as you have journeyed through the depths of your heart, wrestling with shadows that once seemed impossible to overcome, I want you to know that this is not an ending, but a glorious new beginning. The struggles you have faced, the fears you dared to confront, the doubts you whispered in the silence, all of it has been seen, known, and held by me. I have walked with you through every fragile step, gently holding your vulnerability and breathing hope into places you thought were permanently broken. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You are not what the world has told you. You are not defined by your past mistakes or wounds that haven't healed. My beloved, your identity is rooted in my unwavering love, a love that goes beyond all understanding and outlasts every fleeting feeling of inadequacy. Remember that you are my masterpiece, created with infinite intention and woven with grace and mercy that the darkest night can't unravel. Your worth doesn't come from what you do, how successful you are, or what people think of you. It is a sacred gift from my very heart. In the story of your life, every thread, whether bright or dim, has a purpose. There is a divine plan that only I can see. Even the times when silence was deafening and waiting felt endless were not wasted moments. They were sacred times of growth, shaping your character and faith, preparing you for my greater plans. I am a God of new mercies, and with every new day, I am making all things new in your life. So let your heart rise from the ashes of despair like a phoenix, soaring toward the light of my promises. There is no condemnation here, only restoration and abundant life. Where there was brokenness, I am planting seeds of resilience. Where doubt tried to take hold, my spirit breathes certainty. When you feel small and unseen, remember that you are held safely in the palm of my hand, treasured beyond measure, and never forgotten. I am calling you to step into the fullness of who you are, my child, loved beyond measure and empowered by my spirit. Walk boldly, not with a pretense of perfection, but with a confidence that comes from being completely known and deeply embraced. Let my love be your foundation and my truth be the shield for your soul. When the world tries to define you by your failures or label you with fear, look to me and find your identity renewed, your spirit refreshed. You belong to me completely and forever. In me you are whole. In me you are free. In me you are cherished beyond words. No matter what storms rage or how fierce your trials become, I am your refuge, your stronghold, your constant help. You don't need to hide or shrink back, because I delight in you and rejoice over you with singing. As you carry this message in your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share this truth of my love with others who are lost. Keep these words close, especially on days when you falter. Go back to them as a source of strength, reminding yourself that you are mine and I am yours, now and forever. Receive this gift of assurance and let it turn every window of doubt into an open door of faith. Remember, my dear, you are deeply known, fiercely loved, and eternally embraced. Nothing, no force of evil, no earthly burden, no shadow from the past can separate you from the grace that flows without end from my heart to yours. My beloved, in the stillness where your heart whispers and your soul trembles, I see you. I see the silent tears behind your calm breaths, the quiet longing that words can't express. This moment, this deep pause you are in, is not empty. It is sacred ground where breakthrough begins, even if you can't feel it yet. Silence is not my absence, it is my presence, unspoken but powerfully alive. A divine canvas waiting for the masterpiece of your breakthrough. I know the weight you carry, the painful quiet that holds 1,000 unvoiced prayers and tears. You may wonder why the silence is so long, why the heavens seem so still. But beloved, in this silence I am working in ways you can't see. The breakthrough you seek, the freedom you long for, is being woven into the very fabric of your life. I invite you now to lean into this silence, not as a place of despair, but as a sacred threshold. It is here in these quiet depths that your spirit is being prepared, refined, and made ready for the promises waiting just out of sight. Imagine a seed planted deep in the dark, quiet earth. The breakthrough you want is like that seed. Though the ground above seems undisturbed, beneath the surface, life is stirring. Roots are reaching, strength is forming, and growth is coming. You may not see it yet, but your spirit is growing toward the light, destined to burst forth in vibrant bloom when the time is right. Your silence is a sacred space, nurtured with my endless patience and love. I know, my child, that this quiet can feel like a long, dark tunnel with no end in sight. But the light, your breakthrough, is closer than you think, just waiting on the horizon of a new day, bathed in my glory. I'm crafting a new beginning just for you. Don't be afraid of the quiet. Don't resist the stillness, because in these moments a powerful force is at work, creating paths where there were none before. Your breakthrough isn't just an end to your struggles. It's a total transformation of your whole self, a rebirth from the ashes into something radiant. When the world demands answers and action, this silence can feel like an empty void. But trust me, this silence is my voice in disguise, calling you to trust me more deeply and to let go. There's a divine purpose in the stillness, a sacred plan unfolding that can't be rushed. Your breakthrough is so much bigger than what you can see or imagine. It's a powerful moment where my presence is revealed, a holy exchange where your weakness is met with my strength and your doubts are replaced by unshakable faith. Settle into this truth. When doubt creeps in, remember that every quiet moment is meaningful to me. Every pause, every breath you hold is part of a beautiful story I'm weaving with gentle hands. I'm using this quiet time to shape you, preparing you to step out not just changed, but renewed, strong, and victorious. My beloved, can you trust me enough to wait with hope? Will you believe me when I tell you that breakthrough happens in the quiet, in the stillness, in that sacred place where only you and I exist? From the depths of my heart, I want you to hear this. You haven't been forgotten or abandoned in this silence. I am here with you, steady and constant. Your breakthrough is already on its way, building momentum beyond what you can see or feel right now. Let this truth soothe your tired spirit. As you embrace the silence and rest in my presence, get ready for the amazing things waiting for you just around the corner. Your breakthrough is close. Trust me, my beloved, and don't turn away. My dear child, I see the shadows hidden deep in your heart. The weight of your burdens is pressing you down, and yet I am right here, not just watching from afar, but as your closest friend, drawing near in the silence where you feel most vulnerable. You might feel overwhelmed by a quiet pain that no one else sees, those internal battles twisting like a storm. But I am here in the stillness. My presence doesn't rush or force things. It waits patiently with a love so deep it's beyond all understanding. You wonder if your wounds can ever truly heal, if the cracks in your heart can be mended. or if the darkness inside you will always keep you from the peace you long for. My beloved, I'm never far from those who reach for me with trembling hands. Even when the darkness seems thick and endless, I am the dawn that breaks through every night. I am weaving hope into the very core of your being, even if you can't feel the new life unfolding yet. I don't ignore your pain or try to hurry you through it. I hold it carefully, knowing that every bruise on your spirit is part of a bigger story of healing and blessing. Sometimes love is quiet and gentle. It nurtures you even before the healing is visible. When I let you walk through difficult times, it's not to hurt you, but to shape you into a vessel of my glory. Don't mistake my silence for absence. I am here, breathing with you, waiting with you, loving you even when you doubt it the most. I see the moments when you want to give up, when surrendering seems like the only escape. But in that surrender, you'll find more than just giving in. You'll discover a strength that comes from walking faithfully through hardship, a joy that breaks through tears, and a new power that rises from letting go. The night may be long, but I promise the dawn is already stirring, just beyond what you can see. Let this truth sink in. I am closer than your next breath, and my patience with you is infinite. Don't be afraid to bring me your doubts and fears. I'm not ashamed of the questions on your heart. I welcome them, and through them, I will show myself to you more fully. Patience and love aren't just about waiting. They're active forces that transform and make things holy. My work on your heart is a process, and every mistake you make is met with compassion and grace. You're not alone. Even when you feel invisible or overlooked, I am looking at you with tender eyes. The fact that you can still hope and search for me is a quiet testament to my work in your life. In this season of waiting, remember that you are deeply cherished beyond all understanding. Even if you don't yet grasp the purpose of your challenges, I'm orchestrating every detail with a wisdom and care far beyond your sight. Trust in a timing that isn't like the world's frantic pace, but moves with an eternal rhythm, perfectly synchronized to reveal my goodness when the time is right. Let your heart hold on to this promise. I'm with you in the quiet caves of your suffering. I'm the gentle whisper that invites you forward, not with force, but with grace. I hear your prayers, even the ones left unspoken in your soul's silence. Don't lose courage, because every moment you endure is a moment marked by my unseen intervention. I'm holding you close, and in my embrace, there's no need to rush. Healing will come when you're ready to receive it. My strength is made perfect in your weakness, and by relying on me, you become a living example of resilience and divine love. Let your heart be still and listen. Let me remind you who you are, precious, beloved, worth every moment of waiting and healing. Will you rest in this truth today, not by your own effort, but by my constant presence? Will you let my peace overcome the turmoil in your soul? There's a path lit for you, my dear, one step at a time, filled with hope. Be brave and keep walking with me. My beloved, the weight of guilt and shame can feel like it's carved into the very essence of who you are. A long, dark shadow stretching across your heart. This burden can seem unbearable when you feel so far from my purity. But I want you to know that no shadow is too dark for my light. I see past the mistakes you think define you. I see the beautiful tapestry of your soul, woven with threads of resilience, hope, and an incredible capacity for new beginning. Guilt can be a heavy chain, tying you to past failures and telling you lies that you're unworthy or beyond saving. But my dear child, these chains were never meant to hold you forever. They aren't your identity. They're just a symptom of a world separated from me. Through my mercy and grace, I offer you freedom. Imagine standing on a vast beach after a huge storm. The waves are still crashing and the sky is bruised with gray. But with every breath, you take in the fresh, salty air that promises a new start. My forgiveness is that breath, that fresh wind that ignites new hope. You might ask, How can I believe I'm forgiven when the scars are still there? Scars are proof of healing, not of condemnation. I don't look at your wounds with disgust. Instead, I pull you close, holding each one with tenderness and applying a healing balm that only my love can provide. When you feel the weight of shame, remember that my compassion covers you more completely than any ocean. It's infinite, patient, and gentle. You can lay your shame at my feet, because there, it loses its power and is transformed. This transformation starts when you stop hiding from me, when you bring all of yourself, your brokenness, your mistakes, your fears, to me without holding anything back. Come as you are, no pretending or polishing necessary. I'm not interested in masks or perfect behavior. I'm interested in the truth of your heart. Imagine me not as a distant judge, but as a loving father with open arms, waiting for his lost child to come home. No matter how far you've wandered, my embrace is your safe place. The time to come home is now, in this very moment. While shame tries to isolate you, my grace wants to connect and restore you to your rightful place in my family. You're not alone in this struggle. Many before you have walked through deep regret and found renewal in my presence. Remember that your past doesn't disqualify you from future joy or purpose. The best stories of redemption often start with the darkest nights. Let my forgiveness be the lamp that guides you through your valleys, lighting the way forward with hope and promise. Like and share the video if you have trust in the words of the God. Subscribe to the channel if you love Jesus. I also want you to know that forgiveness isn't always a one-time thing. It's often a journey, a slow process of trusting and letting go. There might be moments when those old condemning voices try to come back. In those moments, reach for the assurance I've planted deep in your soul. My peace, my presence, is like a river flowing through the desert, turning barrenness into flourishing life. Trust the process. Beloved, healing happens in my perfect timing, often in ways you can't see or understand. Don't be afraid of the questions or doubts that come up when you face your guilt. These moments aren't a sign of failure, but of a soul fighting its way toward truth and freedom. When you're tempted to hide or shrink back, remind yourself that I'm with you, holding your hand through every battle, every tear, every confession. The path to forgiveness is a sacred journey, and I'm walking it with you, step by step. Feel my nearness in your deepest sorrow, and my joy as you start to rise again. Let this truth sink in. You are not defined by your mistakes, but by my love. Every breath you take is proof of the grace still at work in you, shaping you into the person I created you to be. You are deeply valued, infinitely loved, and eternally forgiven. When doubt or shame threaten to overwhelm you, look up and find me, waiting to lift you out of the depths and set your feet on solid ground. My dear, open your heart fully to me now. Let go of every burden and receive the gift of my forgiveness. There's a new life ahead that I'm eager to lead you into. Will you walk with me in trust, leaving behind the residue of guilt and shame? Will you let me restore your soul, making you whole again? Take this step with me. I'm here, unchanging, unwavering, ready to heal and renew you beyond all expectation. My dear child, a sacred place exists within you, where the wounds of guilt and the shadow of shame have made their home for too long. I see these burdens weighing on your spirit like chains around your heart, trapping you in silence and isolation. But I want you to understand that I'm not far from your suffering. In fact, I am the gentle touch on your bruised soul, the warm light cutting through the thick fog of regret. Guilt isn't meant to be a prison, and shame shouldn't be a permanent mask you wear. I am here to lift both from you, to untangle the knots that hold you captive, and to renew your heart with a forgiveness that knows no limits. Imagine a painter standing before a huge canvas stained with dark, sad colors. Each stroke represents a mistake you wish you could erase, each blot a memory you'd rather forget. But I am the master artist, and I don't throw away the canvas because of its marks. Instead, I gently blend in new colors, vibrant and alive, into the story of your life. The layers of guilt start to melt away under my hand, making space for grace and mercy to take shape. You are not defined by your failures, my beloved. You are not the sum of your mistakes, nor are you condemned by the times you stumbled. There is a profound beauty in the process of forgiveness, both mine and yours. When you come to me with a humble heart, I meet you not with judgment, but with the embrace of healing love. I bear the weight of your sins, not as a distant observer, but as one who understands the fractures in your soul. I know the complex web of emotions woven by guilt and shame, how they whisper lies that cast shadows over your true identity. But I declare to you now that in my eyes, your worth is unshakable. My forgiveness isn't just a pardon, it's an act of restoration, pulling you back into the fullness of life where your soul can breathe freely again. Think of the stories of those who were lost and found their way back through my unwavering mercy. Their steps were uncertain, their journey filled with regret. But every time they turned back to me, they were met with open arms and renewed hope. This is the invitation I extend to you, my dear child. Will you lay down the heavy burden of guilt? Will you let my grace wash over your shame, cleansing and renewing your spirit? Let this truth sink deep. You are loved beyond measure, cherished by a love that won't erase you, but will rewrite your story with the ink of forgiveness. I know that letting go of guilt and shame isn't a simple act of will. Sometimes you may feel unworthy or incapable of receiving such grace. But my beloved, it's not your strength but mine that transforms the brokenness in you. When you are weak and trembling, I become your fortress and your strength. If your heart is stirring, don't turn away. Trust in my unfailing compassion and let me carry you through this valley of sorrow into the light of restoration. Each day, be as kind to yourself as I am to you. Speak gently to your weary soul and refuse the lies that say you are unforgivable. Every moment is a new dawn where you can choose my mercy over the crushing weight of regret. I am the God who specializes in new beginnings, whose love erases the deepest stains, and whose arms are wide enough to hold even the heaviest burdens. My child, bring me your brokenness and let me rebuild what has been shattered. I also invite you to look at those in your life who carry similar scars. Forgiveness is a path that not only frees your own soul, but brings healing to others. As you receive my mercy, you become a vessel of compassion, a beacon of hope for those trapped by shame and guilt. Don't underestimate the power of my grace working through you. A soft word, a gentle touch, an act of humility can be the light that shines into another's darkness. Will you be willing to walk this path of forgiveness, both for yourself and for others, allowing my love to flow freely through your heart? Remember, my dear, that forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the pain caused. It's a sacred and brave choice to release the hold that bitterness has on you. It's an act of freedom, breaking chains that once seemed permanent. When you forgive, you mirror my heart, and in doing so, you invite peace and joy to reclaim their rightful place in you. Let this be the moment you step into the tender refuge of my forgiveness, a space where sorrow is met with understanding, failure with redemption, and shame with honor. I am here, waiting patiently for your heart to open wide. Will you let me in? Will you believe me this time when I say that you were broken to be remade, shattered to be restored? I will walk with you through every shadow and every dawn. Trust in this promise and feel my love surrounding you even now. Let the heaviness lift, my beloved, and let yourself be healed, whole, and free again. This is the sacred gift I offer you, now and always. My beloved, when the shadows of fear and doubt weigh heavily on your heart, know that I am closer than your very breath. Fear is a thief trying to steal the peace I wove into your soul from the beginning. But I stand firm beside you, an unshakable fortress that no storm can break. Anxiety and despair circle you like wolves in the night, but I am the light that darkness can't overcome. I haven't abandoned you to wander lost in your worries. No, I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands, a constant reminder that you are held securely in my embrace. I see every trembling thought that threatens to swallow you. Every sleepless night your soul wrestles with invisible chains. And I am here, giving you a safe space to bring every fear into the open, inviting you to release them into my capable hands. Fear is a signal that something in your life feels uncertain, and I understand how overwhelming it can be. You might feel chained by what-ifs, trapped between shadows of what might happen and frozen by the unknown. But my child, these chains don't define you. The peace I offer is bigger than all your fears, even when it's hidden under your anxious thoughts. This peace isn't the absence of problems. It's the presence of my power carrying you above the storms. Imagine a huge river, swollen and rushing violently, threatening to wash everything away. Alone, you might panic, but in my strength, I am the rock beneath the churning water, steady and unmoving. I am your refuge, your shelter in the storm, your anchor when the waves of doubt crash against your soul. You don't have to face these fears alone anymore. Let your heart feel the gentle invitation to trust me more deeply than your fears tell you to be afraid. I am not distant or uncaring. I am intimately involved in every detail of your life. When anxiety tells you lies about your worth or safety, listen instead to my voice, which sings songs of belonging and eternal love over you. Your worth isn't based on worldly success or others' approval, but on my unchanging nature and the redemption I offer through my grace. These fears that try to shatter your confidence are built on shifting sand. But my affirmation of your value is like a mighty mountain that will never move. I wove you from the dust of the earth, but breathed a divine spark into you that no fear can extinguish. The very fears you face are opportunities for you to see my power in ways you can't understand. In the silence of your heart, when loud doubts try to drown me out, I whisper truths that only a calm soul can recognize. Slow down your racing mind, beloved, and let me speak to your spirit. Breathe deeply and let my peace flood your being like the dawn breaking through the darkest night. I'm inviting you now to surrender the control you hold so tightly, to let go of the grip fear has on your thoughts and feelings. This isn't giving in to defeat, it's surrendering to a strength greater than your own. I will carry you when your legs feel weak. I will steady your hands when they tremble from uncertainty. Imagine leaning into a vast, unshakable presence that never gets tired or loses hope. That is the unfailing love I offer. When fear grabs hold of your heart, don't try to fight it alone, because in your weakness, my strength is made perfect. Bring your trembling soul to me. Pour out every anxious thought like tears, and with gentle hands, I will gather them up and replace them with courage forged from my promises. Your fear is an invitation to a deeper connection, to depend not on your limited control, but on my boundless power and faithfulness. You are never more respected or loved than in those fragile moments when you come to me with open hands and a trembling spirit. There is a sacred beauty in your vulnerability. It draws you closer to me, opening a path for my grace and healing. Take a moment to feel my presence now, surrounding you like a shield, a fortress made not of stone, but of love's immovable strength. Let my peace enter every dark corner of your heart and mind, and imagine yourself resting in the palm of my hand, carried through the chaos with steady, certain care. My dear child, this peace is yours to claim. Will you let it quiet your racing thoughts and calm the storms within? Will you let me replace your fear with the certainty of my constant presence? Don't be afraid to come close, even when your heart is trembling. My love is the light that chases away every shadow. Don't believe the lies that say your fears are permanent or define you. Instead, let this truth sink in. You are deeply known, unconditionally loved, and eternally held by the one who never sleeps. Bring your fear to me. Lay it down at my feet and find rest in the shelter of my arms. Will you believe me this time? The peace I offer is beyond all understanding, and it is yours even now. And if your heart is stirring with a faint hope, don't turn away from this chance to trust again. I am here. I am with you. Fear will not have the last word, because my love has already won the victory inside you. Now, be brave and open your heart wide to me, sharing even your deepest fears. Let my presence become the refuge where your troubled spirit finds safety and strength. And as you do, feel the gentle transformation beginning. Fear losing its grip, anxiety fading into trust, and doubt giving way to vibrant faith. My child, you don't have to walk through the darkness alone. I am the light that leads you home. My beloved, I see the heaviness clinging to your spirit, the quiet fear, the restless anxiety that sneaks up on you when you least expect it. Like a deep forest at dusk, these fears can seem dark and intimidating, thick with unknown terrors that make every step unsure and every breath shallow. But in that very forest, I am the steady light, the constant guide whose presence never fades. Even when the path is blurry and you can't see the way forward, fear is a part of being human, but it doesn't have to define you or control your soul. You sometimes feel trapped in a cycle of doubt, asking if you're good enough, if your prayers matter, if love can truly last through the storms. Oh, my dear child, these questions aren't signs of weakness. They're invitations to a deeper trust. When the tides roar and the skies turn dark, I am the calm beneath your waves. Let your trembling hands reach for mine in those moments of uncertainty. I don't judge you for your fears. Instead, I gather them like fragile leaves and hold them close, transforming them with my peace. The fear that seems to separate you from joy is also a door, a chance to lean into the power of my care. When you feel anxious, don't retreat into isolation. Lean into the shelter I've prepared for you. I am a refuge carved from everlasting rock, unshakable and secure, lasting beyond your understanding. Remember, my beloved, that fear tries to narrow your vision, shrink your heart, and silence your voice. But I made you vast, too vast for fear's limitations. You were shaped with a purpose and with infinite love, with power and grace woven into your very being. Like a mighty tree with roots that dig into deep wells of living water, your soul has the strength to overcome the terrors and the shadows. You are more than your fears. You are my precious creation, made to stand in courage even when everything feels uncertain. Faith is the result of that courage, born not from being naive, but from the quiet confidence that I am with you, no matter how wild the storm gets. I understand the personal nature of your anxiety, the racing heart that questions what tomorrow holds, the restless thoughts that circle like hawks. Those moments when doubt whispers lies about your worth and future are exactly when my voice is strongest, calling you to rest in my embrace. Come, give me your burdens, for I have already carried the weight of the world on my shoulders, pierced for you. In your exhaustion, find rest. In your worries, find safety. The silence of the night isn't empty of joy, it holds the promise of dawn. And I am the unfailing dawn, bringing light into the darkest places inside you. Let this truth sink in. Anxiety doesn't define your destiny, and fear doesn't get the final say. I'm calling you out of the prison of doubt and into the freedom of trust. When your thoughts race and the future seems unknown, look at me, the author of time itself. I weave every moment with purpose, even when you can't see the pattern. Your path isn't left to chance, but is guided by the hands that created galaxies. Every breath you take is sustained by a love that never fails. I invite you now to choose surrender, not as defeat, but as the bravest act of giving your heart to the one who holds everything. In surrendering, your soul finds its wings and soars above the fears that once weighed it down. The mountains of worry can crumble when you walk in my footsteps. Trust is the bridge from captivity to freedom, the key that unlocks the door to the peace deep in your heart. Will you take it? There's a quiet prophecy woven into your days, a promise that your faith will grow strong through the difficulties you face. These trials aren't punishment. They're meant to refine you, molding you into the image you were destined to reflect. Like gold forged in flames, your spirit will become more radiant and resilient. Fear and anxiety aren't signs of failure. They mark a holy ground where your faith is being cultivated and deepened. My child, don't hate the struggles that test you, but embrace them as the soil where faith takes root and grows. When the night threatens to swallow all hope, remember that dawn is carried on the promise of my faithfulness. I am the constant in the chaos, the unchanging, eternal love you can hold on to, even when everything around you trembles. Your fears don't have to silence your song. Sing it boldly to me, and I will fill it with strength. Will you believe me this time? Will you open your heart and let my peace, a peace so great it's beyond all understanding, guard it? You are never alone in your fight against fear. I am by your side, an ever-present shield and the gentle whisper that soothes your soul. Hold on to this truth, and in moments of overwhelming doubt, say it out loud. I am loved. I am safe. I am held. Let these words become your armor, and may they carry you through every dark valley. When anxiety tries to paralyze you, plant your feet firmly on the foundation of my promises and rise again, knowing that you are more than a conqueror through my love. Reach deep into your heart, where I have placed the embers of courage and the wellspring of peace. Nurture these gifts daily, feeding them with trust and looking to me when fear looms large. I am the refuge where your soul can rest, the anchor that holds you steady when the winds howl. My dear, don't give up the fight against fear. Keep going with the certainty that victory belongs to those who trust in me. You are deeply known and cherished, held tenderly in hands that will never let you go. Tonight, as you lay down your burdens, invite me into the quiet places where anxiety lives. Let my words wash over your heart like a gentle rain, soaking every dry spot and bringing forth a harvest of peace. Close your eyes and breathe in the reassurance that you are safe, seen, and infinitely loved. When fear whispers, let my voice speak louder, a mighty roar of love that drowns out every doubt. Remember, beloved, you were created for more than just surviving. You were created to thrive in the fullness of my peace. Will you step out of the shadows and walk boldly into the light of my presence? This is your moment to lay down your fears and take hold of the hope that never fails. Trust me with your heart, and I will lead you to a place where anxiety dissolves in the radiance of my love. Hold tight to this truth and let it sustain you now and always. My dear, there are times when your heart feels like a fragile vase that has been cracked and worn down by life's relentless storms. In these moments of loss, when the path ahead seems dim, it's easy to feel invisible, not just unseen by others, but forgotten by me, as if I've turned away. But nothing could be further from the truth. I am present in the suffocating silence, in the breath-stealing pauses, and in the cold spaces where hope seems to have vanished. You are not lost to me. You are held deeply in the folds of my unwavering love. Think about how carefully I shaped the stars in the vast night sky. They shine from unimaginable distances, proving my handiwork, filling the darkness with light even when it feels too heavy to bear. Your soul is like one of those stars, sometimes dimmed, sometimes hidden by clouds, but never extinguished. I see the light flickering within you, the sacred spark that holds the blueprint of your divine origin and destiny. You are not abandoned, You are known with a closeness that is beyond all human understanding. There's a sacred rhythm to feeling lost, beloved. It's not a meaningless wandering, but a divine invitation to lean into the deep mystery of trust. When you feel unseen, it's as if I've placed you in a hidden room inside my heart, a place set apart from the world's noise so your soul's true song can be heard, pure and delicate. This is where real transformation happens, when you can't see me clearly, but you choose to believe that I'm near. When shadows cloud your vision, faith becomes your lantern, lighting the unseen path I've carved just for you. I've never been distant, even when your senses betray you. The times you feel unseen are the very moments I'm preparing you for a new kind of sight, a knowing that you can't explain but feel deep in your soul. You are my beloved, made from dust but destined for glory, designed to reflect my light, even when it seems everything around you is falling apart. Remember that the night is darkest just before the dawn, and in those moments, you're being prepared to shine brighter than ever. Don't be afraid of the loneliness you sometimes feel. It's not a punishment, but a sign of how important your journey is. Even the most majestic trees grow strong in the solitude of the forest, their roots digging deeper, unseen, gathering silent nourishment that will one day burst into vibrant bloom. So your soul is being nurtured in this unseen season, a preparation that will lead to a profound sense of belonging, a divine closeness that goes beyond human comprehension. From this place of seeming abandonment, you are being drawn into the eternal embrace of my presence, where no pain is too great and no fear is too deep to overcome. You can't let the feeling of invisibility convince you that you have no purpose or value. It's in the furnace of being unseen that your true identity is refined, like gold purified by fire. When you feel unseen, your worth isn't lessened. Instead, your light is being hidden to protect it until the perfect time for it to be revealed. I'm working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail, weaving together parts of your story that you can't yet see. Trust me, my dear, even when the road leads through the valley of the shadow, because I am working everything for your ultimate good. When your soul aches with the bitterness of being overlooked or misunderstood, give those feelings to me. In your brokenness, I find the perfect soil for my grace, an endless well of love and acceptance to pour over your heart and heal the wounds that others can't see. Healing isn't always sudden or dramatic. More often, it's a gentle awakening, a daily rising from the ashes of despair into the freshness of a new day. I am patient with your pace, steady in my pursuit of your heart, and faithful to bring restoration in surprising and miraculous ways. Reflecting on things is a powerful balm in these moments when you feel lost or forgotten. Quietly ask me to show you my presence in the small, ordinary thing. The sun's warmth on your skin, the whisper of the breeze, the laughter that unexpectedly bubbles up in your spirit. These are the footprints of my nearness, soft but undeniable. Your soul is not alone, my child. You are seen. You are cherished beyond measure. Let this truth sink in and anchor your heart amidst the shifting currents of life. Will you hold on to me despite the feelings of loneliness? Will you draw close when the whole world seems distant? This is the call to a deep, divine closeness, an invitation to find refuge not in circumstances or human validation, but in the certainty that you are eternally wrapped in my love. No matter how lost you feel, you've never been beyond my reach. If your heart feels this stirring, don't turn away. Embrace the sacred hiddenness, because in it lies the precious seed of a new belonging, rooted in me and destined to bloom with the fullness of life. Trust me to bring you into the light, where you'll hear my voice clearly and feel my hand steady on your shoulder. You are my beloved, unseen but never forgotten. My dear child, in the quiet moments when the noise and distractions of the world fade, hear my voice whisper softly to your heart. I know the ache you feel when you feel lost, abandoned, or unseen. These feelings descend like a thick fog, obscuring the light I've placed in you, dimming the vibrant colors of hope and promise. But even in this fog, I am here. I gather every piece of your sorrow, every unnoticed sigh, and I hold them gently, pouring my unfailing love into the places where loneliness has taken root. You might wonder, have I drifted too far? Can you still hear me? Child, know this. Your place in my heart is never in question. When the world seems indifferent and people fail to see your pain, I am the one who sees every tear, every hidden wound. I am the shepherd who searches past the mountains, across the valleys, and into the wilderness of your spirit. Your existence matters endlessly to me. In your isolation, you are not forgotten or left behind. You belong irrevocably to me. The feeling of being lost is often a trial in the wilderness, a passage through a dark night meant not to break you, but to reshape you. Like a precious gem carved and polished through pressure and time, your soul is being refined. The wilderness isn't my rejection. It's the soil where deeper roots take hold. Even when you can't see my hand at work in your life, trust that I'm there, unseen yet in control. The silence you dread is the calm before a dawn I'm preparing just for you. My dear child, be still and listen to the unspoken declarations of my love echoing in your heart. Even when the world's noise stops, the lie of abandonment can linger. Though you may feel deserted by those you hoped would stand by you, their absence doesn't define your worth or your status as my beloved. I am the one who will never leave or forsake you. When the shadows of rejection try to bind your spirit, I break the chains with my constant presence. Remember, my faithfulness is unwavering, like a mighty fortress that can't be shaken by human neglect or cruel circumstances. Lean on me, for I am the refuge where your spirit can find rest and renewal. Being unseen, my child, hurts deeply. When no one seems to notice your struggles or celebrate your victories, the pain of invisibility whispers lies that you are insignificant, undeserving, or even invisible to me. But your every breath is precious to me. Every heartbeat sings a melody known only to my heart. I have inscribed you on the palms of my hands. You are always visible to me, lit by my eternal gaze. In those moments when you feel like a shadow, remember that you are a masterpiece created for a purpose and destined for a bright future. I understand how much you long for recognition, for connection, for the reassurance that your journey has meaning. My ways are higher than yours, and my timing is perfect beyond all human understanding. Though your waiting may feel endless, it's part of a grand story woven with threads of grace, mercy, and hope. Your pain is never wasted. It's transformed into a testimony of my redeeming love that breaks chains and heals hearts. As you face each day, hold this truth close. You are a vital part of my divine story, indispensable to my kingdom's unfolding. Let this truth settle deep in your heart, that in your most hidden, fragile places, my love takes root, nurturing new life and strength. You're not wandering aimlessly. You're walking a sacred path designed by my hands. Your steps, even the uncertain or faltering ones, are guided by my unwavering light. When doubt whispers that you're alone, fight it with the certainty that I have never stopped pursuing you. I am your constant companion, your closest friend, and the unfailing source of your belonging. If your heart is stirring as you hear these words, don't turn away from the healing presence I offer. Let me hold your broken pieces and transform them into a beautiful mosaic of hope. Embrace the truth that you are deeply known and eternally cherished. The journey from feeling lost to finding a profound sense of belonging begins when you open your heart to my gentle invitation. Come, rest in me. You are seen, you are known, you are loved beyond measure. Walk forward, beloved, not with fear or hesitation, but with the bold courage that comes from knowing you are my treasured child. When the world doesn't see you, remember my everlasting gaze is on you, and my love will never fail to light your way. This moment is a sacred invitation to trust that you are never truly alone. Let this truth cradle your spirit and move your heart toward the intimate embrace waiting for you in my presence. My beloved, I see the turmoil stirring within your soul, the feeling of being lost in shadows where light once shone brightly. I haven't missed the moments when you feel abandoned, as if the whispers of my presence have faded into silence, leaving you isolated in a desert of doubt. But in this seeming absence, I am closer than your breath, nearer than your heartbeat. You might not feel me, but I haven't moved. It's your vision that's clouded by the weight of your grief and the veil of your fears. There are seasons when the soul wanders through vast wildernesses, where the familiar landmarks of faith and joy are obscured. It's in these wildernesses that I'm refining you, trimming the dead branches from your life's tree to strengthen the unseen roots below. I'm building a resilience that can't be shaken, a foundation built not on comfort, but on the steadfastness of my love. When you feel unseen, remember that I'm watching you with tender eyes. Even if no one else notices your struggle, you might ask, why do you hide yourself in these moments, Father? Why do I feel so alone when I long for your embrace? My dear, this is the mystery of my divine timing and purpose. Sometimes the quiet is my classroom, and solitude is the sacred place where your spirit learns to depend on me alone, not on the noise of the world or the approval of others. In the silence, I am speaking, even if my words are faint like distant stars flickering in the night sky. Your soul must learn the rhythm of my whispers, not with eager ears, but with a patient heart, willing to wait and trust. When moments overwhelm you and you feel yourself slipping into loneliness, I am there to catch you. Even if you can't feel my arms, they are wrapped around you like a cloak of warmth and peace. Don't mistake silence for abandonment. I am the quiet companion, journeying beside you through every valley and shadow. This feeling of being lost is just a temporary veil that will be lifted by the dawn of my presence. I assure you, my beloved, no darkness can overcome the light I've placed in you. Don't despair in this season of feeling unseen, because it's the forge of a hidden strength you have yet to fully recognize. Your worth isn't measured by how visible or recognized you are, but by the eternal mark of my love on your heart. The loneliness you feel now is planting seeds for a harvest of closeness and clarity, where every whisper of my spirit will be unmistakable. Your soul is being prepared for a deeper encounter, a revelation of belonging that will forever satisfy your heart's deepest longings. Even now, take a moment to breathe into my presence, to lean into the quiet, and to let yourself be held. Let this truth settle deep in your heart. You are not abandoned, never beyond my compassion, and never unseen by the eyes that formed you with infinite care. When you feel lost, remember that I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 to seek the one. Relentlessly, with unyielding love. Child, will you believe me this time? Will you let these words anchor you in the storm and calm the turmoil inside? Rest in my arms and rise with the certainty that you belong to me in a way the world can't grasp. You are cherished, watched over, and gently carried, even when the path is unclear. Invite me into your loneliness now, and feel my presence gently weaving around your broken places. Let this moment be a turning point, from wandering aimlessly to joyfully discovering my close companionship. Hold tight to the hope that no one else can give, the hope born from your Creator's unwavering love. Let this truth settle in you, my beloved. As you stand on the brink of understanding, know that I've been with you through every struggle, every tear, every silent cry in your soul's depths. The journey to wholeness isn't always clear or easy, but it has brought you to a sacred truth. You are exquisitely mine. You are intricately woven with purpose and love, created for a destiny no shadow can obscure. I am the breath beneath your wings, the light within the maze, the calm in your storm. When the weight of your world gets too heavy, remember you don't carry it alone. I am here, unwavering, a fortress for your heart. In the tapestry of your life, every thread, bright or dark, has a place and meaning, contributing to the masterpiece that only I can see in its fullness. Your past doesn't define you. Your mistakes and regrets are just stepping stones toward the glory I've planned for you. Believe in the power of my forgiveness and the depth of my relentless grace. When you falter or question your worth, look up at me and meet the gaze of a love so fierce it calls you beloved without hesitation. This love isn't fleeting or conditional. It's eternal, rooted deep in my heart. I fashioned you with intention, and nothing escapes my knowledge. Your fears, doubts, joys, and triumphs, each one is precious to me. When you feel unseen or forgotten, it's because I'm working invisibly on your behalf, orchestrating your life with a divine wisdom beyond human understanding. Trust in the silence. Lean into the waiting. Though seasons change and shadows lengthen, my presence is constant, a steady flame that no wind can put out. Be brave now and embrace your true identity, a child of the Most High, called to shine with the light of heaven in your world. This isn't an empty calling, but a sacred invitation to walk boldly in your purpose, fully equipped with the strength and wisdom I provide. Your life matters infinitely to me, and I delight in the unique gift you bring to this world. Hold on to this truth when uncertainty tries to steal your confidence. Rest your heart in the certainty that your story is beautifully intertwined with mine. You are never alone, never forsaken. The valleys you walk through are just temporary paths leading to a summit crowned with peace, victory, and joy beyond all imagination. I am the God who restores, renews, and redeems all things. Nothing is beyond my touch. Let this promise take deep root in you. You belong to me forever and unshakably. Your place in my kingdom is firm, waiting for you to fully embrace my love and purpose. Don't let fear or hesitation steal this truth from your heart. Walk forward with boldness, knowing I have paved your way. My beloved, come close and hear the heart of your Father speaking directly to the storm raging in your soul. I see you, tangled in the restless waves that threaten to sweep you away, tossed by anxiety, uncertainty, and the empty promises of a world that often fails to provide stable ground. You carry the weight of too many yesterdays and the heavy questions of dwindling tomorrows. The noise is pressing in on you, crushing you like dark clouds before a storm. But I stand here, unwavering as an ancient rock, the steady shore beneath the shifting tide, the anchor deep in the sea of your turmoil. You were never meant to drift aimlessly, my child. I made you to be anchored, rooted deep in my peace, unmoving amidst the chaos. The peace I offer isn't fragile or temporary. It's a fortress, an everlasting calm that no storm can unravel. I am the harbor where your soul can rest, safe from the relentless winds that try to uproot your confidence. I know that in your darkest moments, peace feels like a distant dream, an elusive shadow just out of reach. It's as if you're desperately trying to hold on to sand that slips through your fingers, unable to secure what you want most. But my dear, I am not a peace that you have to chase or bargain for. I am the peace that fills the silence, that fills every empty room in your heart before you even realize it's gone. This peace doesn't come from the world's shallow offers or the absence of problems, but from the certainty of my presence and my control over all things. When the storms rage, remember that the anchor I've cast for you is fixed tight, hidden deep beneath the surface where eyes can't see, but where its security remains unshakable. Maybe you wonder why this peace feels out of reach, why the noise inside you drowns out even the gentlest whisper of calm. I don't condemn your struggle, my beloved. I'm not distant or impatient. I draw near, tender and unwavering, understanding the fragility of your heart. There are times when you feel lost, when despair threatens to take over. But know this: I haven't abandoned you to the merciless waves. My spirit is the still center in your spinning world, the refuge where your soul can lay down its burdens and breathe deeply in my love. This peace, child, is a free gift, but it requires a surrender that challenges the very forces pulling you away. It calls you to trust me beyond what your tired eyes can see and your doubtful heart believe. Listen closely. The heart of my message today is simple but profound. You are invited to anchor yourself in me, to tie your hopes and fears securely to my unchanging nature. Just as a mighty ship drops its anchor into the bedrock beneath the wildest ocean, you must hold firm to the strong foundation I provide. The anchor isn't about ignoring the storm or pretending everything is okay. It's a brave act of faith, rooted in the belief that I am with you, deeper than the ocean's depths and higher than the tallest wave. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and remember this truth: your peace is anchored in me. Nothing can unmoor you if you choose to trust me completely. I also invite you to think about how you've tried to find peace without me. How many times have you grabbed for temporary comforts, only to find them slipping away like cold winter shadows? The peace the world offers is brittle and temporary, a mirage that disappears at the first sign of real trouble. But my peace is a vast ocean, boundless and deep, growing wider the more you rest in my embrace. I am not a distant idea. I am the gentle and powerful presence who created you, who sees you fully, who knows every tear and every silent cry within. Let me be your anchor. Stop striving and searching endlessly. Drop your anchor into me and hold on tight. This decision, my dear child, is the beginning of an incredible journey, a transformation of your very being that only my peace can bring. As you lean into me, your heart learns new rhythms, your spirit finds new strength, and your soul drinks from a well that never runs dry. In that stillness, you'll begin to realize you're not alone. I'm with you, holding you through every gust and guiding you through every shadow. Be brave enough to let go of what you think you need to control. Be courageous enough to trust that I hold your future in my hand and that this peace I offer is beyond all understanding. If your heart is stirring, if a faint hope is flickering but feels fragile, don't turn away. Reach out your hand. Hold on to me. Let this truth settle in you. You are anchored in my peace. And with that anchor, you are unmovable, steady, and secure now and forever. I am your refuge, your strength, your unshakable foundation. Anchor yourself in me again today, and watch how the storms begin to lose their power over your heart. My dear child, the weight you carry inside often feels unbearable, doesn't it? I see how the shadows of your struggles stretch into the corners of your soul. I know the nights when your heart beats in restless silence, wrestling with doubts that whisper cruel lies about your worth. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. The wounds you hide aren't unknown to me. I've been with you, bearing them from the beginning of your journey. In the depths where despair tries to take root, my presence remains unwavering, a gentle flame burning patiently through the darkness. You might feel far from the peace you long for, as if your cries disappear into an empty void. But I am closer than breath, cradling your fears in my hands with a tenderness only a father's love can have. You are not walking this path alone. Every tear you shed, every silent plea in the middle of the night, is a precious prayer that I know intimately. I'm not disappointed by your struggles. In fact, it's in this very vulnerability that my grace flows deepest. The pain you carry is never wasted. Instead, it's woven into a tapestry of redemption and hope that only I can create. I know how hard it is to wait for clarity, for relief, for the dawn that seems hesitant to break through your thickest clouds. Patience isn't just about waiting. It's a sacred space where your trust in me is forged to be stronger than the fiercest storm. While the world rushes to judge, I am deliberately slow to anger, always ready to restore what has been broken. Even when you stumble or question your path, I am there, steady and silent, shaping your spirit into something more resilient than you could ever imagine. Don't shy away from the tenderness of my correction. When your heart feels shattered or your spirit bruised by unspoken mistakes, I am the gentle healer who doesn't condemn, but lovingly guides you toward restoration. Think of a potter at their wheel, smoothing the uneven clay with deliberate care. That's how I shape your heart, mindful of every fragile crack. My discipline comes from a place of profound love, designed not to break you, but to make you whole. In those moments when the night seems endless and your soul is exhausted, know that I am wrapping you in a peace that is beyond all understanding. My presence is your shelter, a refuge where no storm can reach you. You are treasured beyond words, and even in your darkest hour, my light dances just beyond your sight, waiting for you to awaken. My dear, it's okay to lean on me softly. You don't have to carry your burdens in silence or alone. I invite you now to rest in my embrace, to cast your worries on me with the full certainty that I am strong enough to sustain you. Will you let me carry that heavy load with you? To breathe calm into your anxious heart? Let this be a turning point, a sacred pause where you receive the comfort I long to pour over you. Trust in my unfailing love and know that I am always here, waiting to wrap you in my peace. Whisper your burdens to me openly, because I will never tire of hearing your voice. Your pain is holy ground, a place where my power to heal meets your deepest need. In the silence between your heartbeats, listen for my reassurance. Steady, patient, forever present. You are never beyond my reach, and no sorrow you endure can separate you from my steadfast love. Let this truth sink deep into you now. You are cherished far beyond what you can comprehend, and my grace is more than enough to carry you through every struggle. Take a breath with me, child, and find rest in the unchanging reality of my presence beside you. You are mine now and always. My beloved, I see the weight you carry, the burdens you think are too heavy, the memories that cling to your heart like shadows at dusk. You wonder if you're worthy after all that has happened, if your mistakes have broken the connection between us. But listen closely. Your worth isn't measured by your failures or the judgments you imagine. Your value is woven into the very fabric of creation, embroidered by my hands before your first breath. Imagine a garden, wild and untamed, where some plants are choked by thorns and others seem broken by storms. But underneath the soil, their roots go deep, firm, and resilient. This is how I see you, my child. I see beyond the visible troubles, beyond the scars and stumbles. Your roots run so deep in my love that nothing can pull you out. I don't see the mistakes that tarnish your view of yourself. I see the infinite potential waiting to bloom with my nurturing. You must understand, beloved, that your identity isn't a temporary reflection of what others say or what you achieve. It's a sanctuary forged in my unwavering declaration. You are precious, you are cherished, and you belong. I have engraved your name on my heart, making a promise that no misstep or sin can erase. When you falter, it's my grace that catches you, my mercy that clothes you in a new way, like a robe of radiant light that dispels the shadows of guilt. Guilt and shame are cruel companions, whispering lies that you are beyond redemption. But my dear child, do not believe these deceivers. While these feelings might be real, they are not the final word. My forgiveness flows like a constant, cleansing river, washing away the stains you believe define you. It is not earned by striving harder or hiding better, but freely given because my love is boundless and not limited by your imperfections. Healing begins with the realization of this truth, not as a distant hope, but as a present power. I am always at work, even when you cannot see it. Even when your heart remains wounded and restless, the scars of yesterday are not meant to be forever chains. Instead, they are marks that testify to a journey of restoration. I have gathered every tear you've shed and heard every silent prayer. I gently mend every broken piece with hands that never quit. Close your eyes, beloved, and see yourself through my eyes, a masterpiece in progress. Your failures are not the final stroke, but rather parts of an unfinished canvas, waiting for the colors of my redemption to fill them with meaning and beauty. You are not defined by what has been lost, but by what I am still creating within you. A person born anew, radiant with the light of my spirit. In this moment of quiet reflection, be still with me and let my truth sink deeply into your soul. I invite you to release your shame and guilt like armor that no longer serves you. Lay it down at my feet and step into the freedom I offer. This freedom is not a license to ignore your struggles, but a powerful declaration that you are more than your past, held securely in my grace today. Let this truth settle in you. Your worth is unshakable because it is anchored in my eternal love. If a voice says you are not enough, refuse to listen to it. Instead, listen to mine, the voice that sings your worth. Your identity is not a fragile thing, but a fortress built on my promises. Child, if your heart is stirring with this revelation, do not turn away. Allow me to walk beside you as you embrace freedom from guilt and shame. Step into the light of my forgiveness and heal in the warmth of my embrace. This is the path to restoration, the beginning of a new chapter, written not by your faults, but by my faithfulness. Come rest in the assurance that you are loved beyond measure, that there is a place prepared for you where judgment falls away and only grace remains. You are treasured, forgiven, and deeply known. Let this be your anchor when the storms rise and your courage falters. In me, your worth is made whole. No matter the chaos around you, remember, my beloved, you are not lost to me, nor are you an afterthought of grace. You are the object of a love so fierce and tender that it pursues you relentlessly. My forgiveness is not a distant hope, but a present reality, ready to transform your pain into peace, your failure into victory, and your brokenness into beauty. Hold tight to this promise. I am with you always, and my love for you never fades. Trust in this, my dear child, and rest in the knowledge that your identity is secure. Your worth is eternal, and in my eyes, you are infinitely precious. If your soul aches to believe this fully, lean into me now. Receive this truth and walk forward, not as one weighed down by guilt, but as one lifted up by unending grace. Your identity is safe in my hands, and in me, you will find your truest worth unveiled. My beloved, the shadows of guilt and shame can feel like a thick fog that clings to your soul, making every step heavy and uncertain. I see how you carry these burdens, silent chains forged from past mistakes and regrets, whispered in the darkest corners of your heart. But listen closely, for I am the one whose mercy flows deeper than any ocean, and whose forgiveness is wider than the vastest sky. No guilt remains beyond the reach of my grace. No shame is so deep that it cannot be buried beneath my love. I am that safe refuge where sorrow and condemnation cease. When you stumble beneath the weight of your failures, I am there to lift you up, not with condemnation, but with hands stretched wide in mercy. Remember the orchard where a single tree grows heavy with ripe fruit, yet it is surrounded by branches scorched and broken by storms. The fruit remains unblemished and sweet, a testament to the enduring life within that tree. So it is with you. Despite the storms of your past, the fruit of your spirit, born of my presence, remains vibrant and alive. You are not defined by the faltering branches that bent under pressure, but by the living essence within, the seed of grace planted by my own hand. Do not let the whispers of guilt drown out the gentle voice of my forgiveness. I am healing the breaches where shame has sought to take root, and I am tenderly restoring what was broken, making you whole again. There is an intimate exchange awaiting your surrender, a sacred moment where you can lay down your regrets before me. It is not a transaction, but a transformation. I do not tally your mistakes to withhold my love. Instead, I pour out mercy without restraint, flooding the wasteland of remorse with new life. I am your Redeemer, the one who beckons from the shadows with words that bring light. Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. Do not hesitate to come, to lay your burdens down at my feet, to let go of the heavy cloak woven by your own hands. In this quiet surrender, you will find not judgment, but an embrace that reclaims your soul. Beloved, the journey beyond guilt is not instantaneous. It is a path walked day by day, breath by breath, as my love gradually pulls the fabric of your heart from tattered despair into radiant hope. Each moment you choose to believe in my forgiveness, you are stepping into the fullness of your identity as my cherished child, cleansed from all stain. When the enemy tries to remind you of your failures, remember whose voice you are called to follow. The God who promises to blot out your iniquities and remember your sins no more. This is not just an ancient promise, but a living reality for you here and now. Do not let shame's bitter thorn keep you rooted in the past. Instead, fix your eyes on the horizon I have set before you, a future rich with purpose and promise, where you walk freely as one restored, one beloved beyond measure. Your worth is not measured by perfection, but by the depth of my love. It is not found in never failing, but in receiving my grace when you do. You are my masterpiece, woven with intention and infinite care, not discarded but preserved. I am molding your heart through this process, shaping you into vessels of my compassion, who can then reach out and lift others who walk in shadows. Your healing breaks chains in ways you cannot yet see. As you receive my forgiveness, you become a living testament to what grace can do, a beacon to those drowning in their own guilt. Let this light shine through your story. Do not hide it away. Will you believe me this time, my dear child? Will you allow my forgiveness to seep into the corners of your soul where guilt lingers? Will you embrace the freedom that only I can give? I call you now to take this next step. Release the past that holds you captive. Come into my presence not as one condemned, but one redeemed. Feel my arms of mercy encircle you, firm yet tender, unshaken and sure. Surrender your shame. It no longer defines you. Open your heart to receive the renewal I am pouring out. This is a sacred invitation to rise anew, clothed in righteousness, not your own, but given freely by my grace. Your future is not a place of regret, but a canvas for a life painted with the colors of forgiveness and hope. Trust me as I restore your soul, and let my love be the balm that heals every wound guilt has etched in your spirit. Let this truth settle in you. Your past cannot imprison you when my forgiveness breathes freedom into your heart. I am the God who does not remember your sins and invites you into a joy that endures beyond the darkest night. Reach out for this gift. Embrace your restored identity and walk boldly forward, secure in the knowledge that you are accepted, loved, and forgiven beyond measure. You are treasured, forgiven, and deeply known. Let this be your anchor when the storms rise and your courage falters. In me, your worth is made whole. No matter the chaos around you, remember, my beloved, you are not lost to me, nor are you an afterthought of grace. You are the object of a love so fierce and tender that it pursues you relentlessly. My forgiveness is not a distant hope, but a present reality, ready to transform your pain into peace, your failure into victory, and your brokenness into beauty. Hold tight to this promise. I am with you always, and my love for you never fades. Trust in this, my dear child, and rest in the knowledge that your identity is secure. Your worth is eternal, and in my eyes you are infinitely precious. If your soul aches to believe this fully, Lean into me now. Receive this truth and walk forward not as one weighed down by guilt, but as one lifted up by unending grace. Your identity is safe in my hands, and in me you will find your truest worth unveiled. My beloved, the landscape of your soul often feels like a vast wilderness, stretching endlessly under a sky heavy with silence. Like and share the video if you have trust in the words of the God. Subscribe to the channel if you love Jesus. In the stillness, when the world's noise has receded and your deepest questions echo within, you may sense an emptiness, a waiting that feels unbearable. This space between your longing and the fulfillment of your prayers is not a void I have abandoned, but a sacred interval, a holy pause designed to shape you beyond what you imagine. Though you may wrestle with doubt, wondering if your plea has reached me, I am here, steadfast and patient, watching with unwavering devotion. Consider the dark soil in which seeds lie buried, unseen and silent for a season. They do not fear the darkness. Rather, they rest in complete trust that what lies beneath will one day bloom. So is the place where you find yourself now, a hidden ground where my work is quietly taking root. This waiting is not simply the absence of my voice, but an invitation to embrace a new depth of trust you have not yet known. It is an opportunity to learn that my timing is always perfect, even when it appears slow. My beloved, timing is sacred, woven with purpose and wisdom beyond human understanding. Like the dawn, it breaks gently and at exactly the moment required to illuminate all that darkness concealed. There is a profound beauty in waiting, a sacred refining of your spirit. Your restlessness is my invitation to surrender control, to release your grip on the timeline you have constructed. When you let go, you give me room to move freely, to guide you in ways unexpected but wondrous. Your heart may ache with impatience, but in that ache, I am healing and preparing you. What seems like delay is often my way of growing your faith, deepening your hope, and teaching you resilience. Even when you cannot see the horizon, you are moving forward, carried gently in my hands. Trust your feet where they are. Walk by faith, not by sight, knowing that every step, even the still ones, is sacred to me. I understand the shadows that creep into your heart, the fear that I have forgotten you, the whisper that your prayers bounce off silent walls. Yet, my beloved, I am not silent. My silence is deliberate, a holy stillness meant to refine your senses so you might hear my voice clearer than ever before. It is here in the quiet that you learn the language of trust. It is here that your spirit finds strength, not in immediate answers, but in unshakable presence. When you feel unseen, be assured you are under constant watch, enveloped in a love that never falters. Your waiting is not a punishment. It is an embrace, a tender holding of your fragile hope until it can fully bloom. Sometimes your impatience masks a deeper fear, the fear that your value is tied to the speed of my response or the magnitude of my miracles. But I delight in you not because of what you do or achieve, but because of who you are, my creation, beautifully and fearfully made. Your worth is eternal, unaffected by human timelines or external validation. In this sacred pause, you are reminded that my love does not rush or waver. It endures. The waiting cultivates humility, dependence, and a profound awareness of my sovereignty. I am near, and every moment you wait is a testament to your growing faith. Let this truth settle in you. Your story is being written in my perfect rhythm, and no chapter is wasted. Do not shy away from this season, for it is an integral part of your spiritual journey. Instead, lean into the lessons embedded in this waiting. Reflect on the moments when you thought the silence would overwhelm you, yet here you are, still standing, still hoping. That persistence is the mark of a heart molded by grace. I invite you now to offer me your impatience, your questions, and your doubts. Lay them at my feet and feel the weight lift as I replace them with peace. Peace that transcends understanding. The wait is not a barrier between us. It is a bridge fashioned by my hands, guiding you to deeper intimacy with me. If your heart is stirring as you sit with these words, do not turn away. Embrace this time as a sacred gift. Trust that the silence is never empty and the waiting is never wasted. You are not alone in this pause. I am walking beside you, whispering encouragement with every breath you take. Look to me not only for answers, but for my unchanging presence, which is the source of all hope and courage. Hold fast to the promise that the dawn is coming, and with it a new chapter filled with light and joy that only I can bring. Now, consider what this waiting is teaching you about my nature and yours. Are you discovering a resilience you did not know you had? Are you learning to recognize my voice in the hush? Does your faith feel different, deeper, quieter, yet more assured? These are the footprints of your spiritual growth. You are being transformed into the person you were created to be, not by force or haste, but by patient, loving care. This sacred confidence in my timing will become a wellspring of strength in seasons to come, a shield against despair. Step into this confidence. Let it anchor you in the midst of uncertainty. Remember, my dear, that I am the eternal God, unchanging and true. Time is mine, and every moment of waiting is in my hands. Each pause is a deliberate act of love designed to mature your soul, align your heart with mine, and prepare you for the fullness I have planned. Walk in the assurance that comes not from what you see around you, but from who I am within you. I am your refuge and your steadfast companion. When the wait feels longest, lean most fully into me, for I am already there, waiting with you. Will you believe me this time? Will you cling not to what is visible, but to the unseen, trusting that all things are working together for your good? The road may be longer than you desired and the silence deeper than you hoped, but I have not forgotten you. The waiting is sacred. It is a sacred space of transformation and love. Let your heart rest here. Let your soul breathe in my presence. The morning is near, and I am faithful to bring forth the light. If your spirit cries out for comfort and assurance, come to me openly and without hesitation. My ears are attentive, my love unwavering. The day of fulfillment is coming, and you will see with new eyes how perfectly I have woven your story, even in the silence. Until then, trust the tenderness of my wait. Your patience is a gift to me, and in return, I will pour blessings upon you beyond measure. Allow yourself to settle into this divine stillness. Let this season speak to your heart, teaching you to wait with expectation, hope, and peace. You are cherished beyond words. I am with you every breath you take. Will you lean on me now in this precious wait and find strength? This sacred journey of waiting is not final, but the beginning of a new, fuller life in me. Let your soul rest in this truth. Let your hope rise like the sun. Let the quiet transform your heart. The best is yet to come. My dear child, there is a vast wilderness inside your heart where the shadows of fear, anxiety, and doubt sometimes gather like unrelenting storms. I see these storms. I see the tempest that stirs within you, churning your spirit, shaking your trust, and whispering lies of despair. Yet amidst this internal turbulence, I am your steadfast anchor, the unmovable rock beneath the waves that threaten to overwhelm. When the night is darkest and the winds howl fiercest, remember that I am near, closer than your breath, deeper than your fears. I have not abandoned you. I have not forsaken you. Fear and doubt can seem like towering walls, impenetrable and cold, surrounding your soul. Anxiety may appear like a flood that washes away your peace, leaving confusion in its wake. But my beloved, these are not instruments to destroy you, but invitations to lean into me with greater dependence. I do not intend for you to wrestle these storms alone. I am your refuge and strength, your ever-present help, ready to bear your burdens and still the stormy seas. When the dark voices in your mind shout lies, listen instead to the quiet whisper of my love. reminding you of your worth and safety in me. Recall the times when you overcame before, when you faced sorrow and uncertainty and yet found strength in surrendering your cares to me. The storms of your life are not meaningless suffering, but part of a divine tapestry where each thread of pain, fear, and doubt interweaves with grace and hope. Every fear you face is a doorway to greater faith. Every anxious thought, an opportunity to seek my peace. I long to calm your anxious heart, to replace your trembling with courage born of my enduring promises. Let this truth settle in you. You are not defined by your fears, but by my steadfast love. Perhaps you wonder if you are too fragile, too broken to withstand the storms raging inside you. I tell you now, child, I do not call the strong, but the willing. I do not pour my grace on the perfect, but the humble heart. Your weakness invites my strength to shine through. When doubt raises its voice to question your future, your purpose, your calling, remember that my plans are not thwarted by your uncertainty. Instead, I am patiently inviting you to entrust me with your steps, to walk in faith even when the path is shrouded in mist. Will you let me carry you when you grow weary? Anxiety can feel like a heavy chain, locking your mind in relentless torment over what could be, what might happen, and what you cannot control. But I am the sovereign king over all things seen and unseen. There is no fear that escapes my gaze, no doubt that overwhelms my understanding. When your heart races with worry, bring it to me as a sacred offering. Cast your cares upon me, for I care deeply for you. Allow my peace, which surpasses every human understanding, to guard your heart and mind. It is not a distant peace, but a living, breathing presence that quiets storms and stills trembling souls. In the quiet moments, when doubt creeps into your thoughts and whispers its insidious questions, lean closer still. I am with you in those silences, speaking softly to your soul with words of hope and assurance. I see the tears you have hidden, the prayers you have barely whispered. Nothing you have endured is beyond my reach. I have borne sorrow beyond imagining on your behalf, so you need not face your fears in isolation. Do not shrink back when anxiety threatens your courage. Instead, approach me with the fragile hope that even this too is an invitation to grow in faith. Remember the story of the seed buried deep in the earth, silent and seemingly lifeless. Yet within it lies the power for new life, hidden beneath the surface. Your fears and doubts, though painful and heavy now, are nurturing the fragile seed of faith within your heart. In time, this seed will sprout and rise, breaking through the hardened soil of uncertainty, reaching towards my light. Trust that your current season of struggle is not your end, but the fertile ground for a new beginning. Your faith is being refined, polished like gold through the fire of trial, preparing you for a testimony of my faithfulness. You may feel overwhelmed, as if caught in a vast ocean without a compass, but consider the stars that guided ancient travelers across endless seas, unchanging, constant, and reliable. I am the eternal star of your life, steadfast and true. When your heart is tossed by doubt, gaze into my light and find your direction. I will never lead you astray. I will never leave you lost in the darkness. When the waves threaten to swallow you, call out to me and I will reach down, lifting you above the chaos into the calm of my presence. If your heart is stirring with fear or doubt right now, do not turn away in despair. Instead, bring me your trembling soul and watch as I breathe peace into your every anxious thought. You have called me Father, and as your Father, I am intimately familiar with every sorrow, every fear, and every whisper of doubt you endure. I do not condemn your frailty. I embrace it with compassionate arms. Step into my light and allow me to dispel the shadows that seek to confuse you. With me, there is hope beyond your understanding, strength beyond your weakness, and peace beyond your pain. I invite you now to raise your eyes above the storm clouds. beyond the waves of anxiety and whispers of doubt, to the firmament of my unchanging love and faithfulness. This journey through fear and uncertainty is not a solitary path. It is a shared pilgrimage we walk together. Lean into me, surrender your burdens, and receive the courage I pour into your heart. You are precious in my sight, cherished beyond measure, and I am always beside you, holding you steady when your knees feel weak. Let this truth be an anchor for your soul today. Will you trust me? Will you choose to believe that even in your deepest fear and heaviest doubt, I am working all things for your good? Let faith rise within you like a mighty wave, sweeping away every anxious crumb that threatens your peace. This is my promise to you. You are not alone. I am your refuge, your shield, your everlasting strength. In me you find rest for your weary heart and hope for your anxious soul. Bring me your fears. I will transform them into songs of victory. Will you walk forward with me now, hand in hand, into the light beyond the storm? Child, in the quiet moments when the world seems to retreat into shadows, when footsteps falter along a path that once seemed clear and bright, know that you are never alone in your wandering. I see every tremor of doubt that stirs within your heart, every flicker of fear that clouds your vision, and I am there, steady and unwavering. You may feel lost, abandoned by the noise and clamor of life's relentless tide, as if your voice is swallowed by the vastness of existence. Yet I am the eternal whisper, the silent breath that calls your name from the depths of your being. Even when all seems unseen and untouched by grace, my presence surrounds you in ways beyond human understanding. You were never meant to walk this journey cloaked in isolation or despair. Feelings of being lost are not signs of failure, but invitations to return deeper into my embrace. Like the wayward sheep that strays beyond the well-trodden pastures, you do not need to stumble alone through the wilderness. I am the good shepherd who seeks you tirelessly, who rejoices when you find your way back home. There is a sacred belonging wrapped not in performance or achievement, but in the simple truth that you are held in my heart as dearly as the stars are held within the vault of the night sky. You may not always see me clearly, my dear, but my faithfulness flickers like a lamp in the dark, guiding you steadily through each moment of uncertainty. In the places where you feel invisible, where loneliness seems to press heavily, I am weaving a tapestry of connection unseen by mortal eyes. I am drawing together threads of hope, fragments of peace, and rays of love that pierce your isolation. My spirit moves in those quiet renewals, the sigh of relief after a long day, the calming breath before sleep, the rising courage to face another dawn. These are my gentle fingerprints upon your soul, reminding you that being unseen by the world does not mean you are unseen by me. Your worth is not measured by recognition or applause, but by the eternal, unbreakable bond we share. There may be seasons where my silence feels like absence, where prayers echo unanswered, and your spirit feels as if it is caught in an endless desert. But know this, beloved, my silence is not abandonment. Within that stillness, I am preparing you for new beginnings, planting seeds of transformation beneath the surface, shaping your character in ways only time and trust can reveal. The desert is not a place to perish, but to be purged and purified. It is a sanctuary where the hidden streams of my love run deep, waiting for your thirsty soul to discover them. Will you embrace this sacred waiting? Will you trust that even in seeming emptiness, one is never too lost to be found by my grace? When your eyes cannot see the road ahead, lean into the quiet assurance that I am the way itself. Do not be afraid to surrender what you thought you knew about your life's direction, for I am unveiling a path far greater than you can conceive. Let go of the need to control every step or to illuminate every shadow before it appears. Walking by faith means stepping forward even in uncertainty, trusting that my hand leads you through every twist and turn. You are held, cherished, and endlessly pursued. In moments of feeling lost, listen carefully for my heartbeat, beating alongside yours, steady and full of a love that will never cease. Let this truth settle deep within your soul, for it is the light to guide your journey. Come, draw near to me, and find refuge from the chaos that the world often presents. Your doubts and fears are not a barrier to my love, but a canvas upon which I paint redemption and hope. I am here to gather your broken pieces and weave them into something beautiful beyond your imagination. I see the tears you hide, the prayers you whisper in the dark, and I respond with a tenderness that no earthly sorrow can overcome. You are not lost. You are in the sacred process of becoming. The seasons of feeling unseen or forgotten are but chapters in a greater story where you emerge radiant and whole. Trust me to keep you through this sacred transformation. Will you allow me to fill the spaces where you feel hollowness or grief? Will you receive the peace that surpasses all human understanding? A peace that holds you steady even when breath fails and the heart aches. I am with you as your healer, your comforter, your closest companion. Do not shrink back in fear or shame. Come boldly into my presence, where you find acceptance without condition. Here, your identity is restored not by what you do or how you feel, but by who you are in me. Beloved, chosen, treasured beyond measure. Step into this truth. Breathe it in until doubt fades and your spirit stands firm. The journey from feeling lost to found is not always swift or easy, but it is filled with my unending grace and presence. Keep your eyes on the horizon of my promises, even when clouds obscure your sight. You belong to me. You are cherished in ways your heart cannot yet fathom. In every moment you struggle with feelings of abandonment or invisibility, turn toward me and I will be your light and your salvation. Will you trust me anew, child, to lead you from the shadows into the fullness of my loving embrace? Let this invitation stir within you and move your heart closer to the peace and belonging I offer. My dear child, I see how the weight of feeling lost, abandoned, and unseen presses heavily upon your heart. In the stillness of your solitude, when shadows gather and the silence becomes a deafening echo, your spirit cries out, yearning for the assurance that you are not forgotten. Let me remind you gently, tenderly, that I have never left your side, not for a moment. Even when your world feels like a desolate desert, I am the living water flowing just beneath the surface, ready to refresh your weary soul. You may not always sense my presence, but my love surrounds you like the invisible air you breathe. I am closer than your own heartbeat and deeper than your sigh. When life's storms have torn away your sense of belonging, you can be tempted to believe that you walk alone in an endless night. The pain of abandonment cuts deep, and feeling unseen makes your struggle feel insignificant, as though your existence barely ripples on the great sea of creation. But child, every tear you shed is collected in my jar, and every silent plea is etched upon my heart. I know the secret places where your hurt hides, in the quiet hours, in the exchange of lonely glances, and in moments when you question your own worth. Do not let the enemy's whisper convince you that you do not matter, for you are forever etched into the very fabric of my being, uniquely crafted and treasured as my masterpiece. There is a sacred beauty in being seen by me beyond all human eyes. Where the world might overlook you, I hold you in my gaze, a gaze of unending compassion and fierce devotion. I delight in you beyond measure, even when the world casts shadows on your identity. Your loneliness is not the end of your story. It is the place where I meet you face to face, where my light pierces through the darkest night and restores your hope like dawn breaking through clouds. Trust that in your solitude, I am working quietly, weaving threads of healing and belonging into the tapestry of your life. Child, sometimes the sensation of being lost comes because you have ventured beyond familiar shores in the journey of life, uncertain and afraid to navigate uncharted waters. Know that I am the compass and the lighthouse, steady and unmovable, guiding you gently back to the path meant for you. You do not have to scramble frantically to find your way or conjure answers from within yourself. Lean into me, and I will bring clarity in my perfect timing. Your feelings of abandonment are not a verdict, but an invitation to come close, to rest in my embrace, and to discover anew that you are never truly alone. I want to reveal to you the profound truth that even your unanswered prayers are heard and cherished by me. Sometimes it is in the waiting and the feeling of being unseen that I am refining your spirit, shaping your heart, and preparing you for a love and purpose far greater than you can imagine. The loneliness you endure is not a punishment, but a sacred pause, a holy silence where your soul is being made whole. Will you entrust me with your doubts and fears? Will you open your heart to receive the reassurance that flows only from my presence? In the midst of feeling forsaken, I am whispering that your life carries eternal significance, and you belong to me absolutely. Let your heart release the burden of isolation, for the garment of sorrow you wear is one I long to exchange for a robe of joy and belonging. I am calling you into a deeper intimacy with me, where you will no longer feel abandoned or invisible. Here in my presence, you are fully known, fully accepted, and infinitely loved. When you feel unseen by others, rest in the truth that I see every part of you, your pain, your struggles, your dreams, and I hold them tenderly. My eyes rest upon you with warmth and mercy, ever waiting to wrap you in unshakable comfort. My dear child, do not let the lies of loneliness steal your faith in my promises. I am your refuge in times of trouble and your constant companion in the lonely places. When the world feels cold and uninviting, lean into the warmth of my love, which cushions your spirit and renews your hope. Your sense of being lost is temporary, but my love is eternal and unwavering. Even when you feel abandoned, know this: you are my beloved, and nothing can separate you from my heart. Will you allow my love to be the light that guides you out of the shadows? Will you receive the comfort I offer freely to your weary soul? Let this truth settle deeply within you, that you are never outside the reach of my gaze, nor beyond the embrace of my presence. Though the night may seem endless, my morning will always come. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Open your hands and your spirit to me and rest, beloved, in the assurance that you are seen, you are known, and you are cherished beyond words. Together, we will walk through the valley of feeling lost and emerge into my everlasting light. My beloved, as you approach the closing of our shared journey, know this: you are not a fragment cast aside by the winds of a changing world, but the cherished handiwork of my own hand, shaped in the depths of eternity. Your identity is not anchored in fleeting validations or wounds carved by others, but is secured in the unshakable foundation of my love for you. Understand deeply that you belong not only to me, but to a family vast beyond human comprehension, woven together by grace that cannot be undone. I have seen every moment your heart felt like a wandering ship tossed on waves of uncertainty. Yet even amid the dark nights I was there, a steadfast lighthouse guiding home every trembling thought and trembling step. This belonging you seek, this home you crave, is not found in the noise of the world, but in the quiet depths of communion with me. I invite you now, my dear child, to draw nearer, to settle into that sacred space where your soul hears my voice above all else. It is in these moments of intimacy where your true purpose unfolds, revealing that you are not lost, unseen, or abandoned, but deeply known and fiercely loved. This identity, forged in divine love and eternal truth, calls you to rise beyond the shadows of shame and doubt. The chains that once held you, The lies whispered in loneliness and fear are broken by the power of my forgiveness and grace. You are radiant with the reflection of my glory, a light not dimmed by mistakes but refined by mercy. Remember always that your worth is not earned by accomplishment or burdened by failure. It is a gift freely given, boundless and enduring. Walk forward now with courage, tethered to the certainty that I accompany you in every step. When burdens weigh heavy on your spirit, look to me and know that I am your rest and strength. When your heart trembles with fear or your mind is clouded with doubt, reach out and find my hand, steady and sure. There is no place too far, no darkness too thick for my love to penetrate and bring healing. Will you embrace this truth now? Will you let it sink deep beneath your skin, seeping into every part of your being that is weary or uncertain? Do not resist the peace that calls you home. You are my beloved, fashioned for purpose, destined for joy, and wrapped in my eternal embrace. Stand firm in this identity. Let it shape your days and fuel your hope. Never doubt that you are my masterpiece, beloved beyond telling, called for a destiny that only you can fulfill. I have placed longings and dreams within your heart that echo my voice, and I will walk with you until they blossom fully. The road may twist and the storms may roar, but you are never alone. Trust in my presence as your comfort and courage. If your heart is stirred by this message, do not let it fade away. Hold it close, return to it often, and share it freely with other wandering souls who need to hear they belong. Let this truth settle in you, a balm and beacon, illuminating your holy path. Even when the way is hidden, you are mine, eternally and wonderfully made. Let us journey on together, wrapped in love that neither time nor trial can unravel. Amen. My beloved child, carry this message forward. Someone you know is waiting for a word just like this. What you've heard today isn't only for this hour, it's a guidepost for what's to come. The time we live in is not ordinary, and neither is your calling. You've been chosen to live with clarity, with conviction, and with love that knows no bounds. Remember, even in your quietest moments, you are seen and surrounded. If this message stirred something within you, don't let the journey stop here. Subscribe and walk with us again as we explore the truths that build you up and guide you forward. Share this word with someone feeling lost. Let them feel the warmth of belonging. Until next time, remain rooted in truth, walk gently but fearlessly, and never forget you were born for impact. Amen.